And we live up in this thing, man. What's good with it, Black Goose TV family? Salute to the people. You already know who it is. Your boy Fluence. I'm here with my man Zen. What's good with his Zen?
What's good with y'all, man? How y'all doing out there, man? I hope y'all having a blessed Sunday.
Absolutely. You already know what it's on. You know what I'm saying? It's Sunday, so you know we coming with it. With Fluence and Zen, another episode. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot to talk about. But first and foremost, we want to start off with if y'all come up in this day, hit the like button. Hit that thing. Cause we
Hit the
trying to
like
get into the
button,
algorithm.
subscribe, and hit the bell so you get the notifications when we're going live, so you will not miss out when Fluence goes live on Saturdays and other notifications. Hit
Yeah,
all
I
the
be forgetting
buttons.
about that. Hit them
Hit
all.
the
All
bell.
them
Yeah, hit
joints.
the bell. You want that notification because I think that's what we got. We got to tell these niggas to get that notification because I'm like, subscribe, cool, but I feel like sometimes they don't be wanting to alert you.
They don't, but that's all part of getting in the algorithm also. Cause
True.
you could be part of the notification gang, but if you get out of the algorithm and whoever's watching you, they won't alert you even if you're notified. They usually only gonna know because that's the YouTube game. The only notify most people, especially since you subscribe to a lot of channels usually of what you actually really watching. So hit the notification bell, hit the like button, man. Get us in your algorithm, show us some love. Coming with it. I'm doing the quick mic check as always, real quick. Make sure we sound good. And there that goes. Sound good. Excuse me for the backup. Always got to do it. That's from the old school days. Nigga used to always have all types of mic problems, but nowadays we be running smooth. You know what I'm saying? We
We were
told
trying
you
to
we
get the
getting better.
mics in. Remember that one time, bro? We went for like 30 minutes. And somebody finally chopped in. It was like, I can't hear y'all. We was like, what?
So this is all. That's all that is. We always do that because we used to have always the worst sound problems in the world. So salute to that. So Sunday fun day. We up in here, man. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? So go ahead.
disclaimer, man. So if I'm talking like this, it's because how my mic is. That's how we're gonna get the crispest sound. So don't be thinking like, what? Why he on his mic like that? I got to hold my mic like this. So
Nah, you good. If anything, I was just gonna be like, oh, this nigga over here. He bougie, man. I don't know. That's the bougie way to hold the mic, nigga. Like when you hold the fork with the pinky out, nigga. You know
it's
what I'm
just
saying?
I would
That
have to
way.
have the mic right here in my face for you to get that clear sound. You see what I'm saying? Where's me
Nah,
going like that?
salute.
You can see my voice. You see what I'm saying? That's all
Salute,
I'm
no
trying to
salute.
do, man. But anyway, man,
Salute to it.
what did you ask me?
As always, man, you know how we start this thing off. First, though, I do
Oh,
want to say this. I want to salute to the Black Goose family this weekend because last weekend was one of the slowest weekends I've seen in a minute when it came to just the Fluence Lounge, especially the Fluence Lounge. That was crazy, and then also the Fluence and Zen. But y'all came in strong this past weekend. Of course, it comes down to who we watching. I know that too. Sooner or later, though, it's going to change where it's not always going to be necessarily about the big fights we're watching because I'm gonna look into adding a little bit so we can have some display and things that we can play with when it comes to the live. So it's not just we're just watching us watch shit. We can add little different things. So I'm looking into some things on that, but consistency is the key. We're gonna keep hitting it always when it comes to the Fluences and Fluence Lounge is always already addressed yesterday, but I'm gonna let y'all know Black Ghost Friday is gonna be this Friday. Fluence Sunday is gonna be this upcoming Sunday. All right, so y'all make sure y'all look out for that. I haven't decided yet since I held off on a week if I'm just gonna double up with the Black Goose Friday. You know what I'm saying? Double up with it coming the next week. We'll see how that goes, but y'all look out for that this week. But as always, Fluent is in how we always start Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit later over on my side of the game, but for the most part, it's still at the tail end of things. For the Sunday, how your Sunday been? Rated out of 5, man. How you feel? Let me know what's happening.
I'm not gonna lie. My day was kind of I'm gonna tell you about it. You should low key go first because it's kind of like a longer story, so I don't want to be dragging out. You know what I mean? So we gonna switch it up. We gonna let you go first, and then I'll tell you about my day. Because I'm like, it was good, but it was just oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry for that.
No, you good. You good.
But it was just very surprising. Very
Okay,
surprising.
okay. So we're gonna let Zen go into a second. So we'll go on my day as Sundays, man. I always had the best Sundays when uh I just don't have a lot of shit to do because a lot of times when I got shit to do, I be and especially my week been on some bullshit. Even my weekend to an extent, like Friday, Saturday, hasn't been the best. But ultimately, my Sunday was cool, man. My Sunday was laid back for the most part. Woke up, just kind of cleaned around the crib in the morning. Did some shit. When it comes to work, I did a little bit of shit at work, just for the fun of it. Went, one thing I want to say, I'm just kind of really the happiest about because it's 2 days in a row now. My knee feels so much better, and I've intensified my workouts, not in a necessarily way where I can hurt my leg. I'm just talking about because remember I told you I'm not doing no heavy weights. There's no heavy weights involved in nothing I'm doing. I'm doing kettlebell work, but like everything I'm doing is like it's just different type of shit where I'm still like pushing my body, but I'm making sure I'm not putting any type of strenuous activity on my leg during it, even though still, obviously I'm gonna still put some, pressure on it because I am working out, but I'm just kind of doing different type of things. Anyways, long story short, yesterday I picked up the intensity. I felt real good afterward. Actually, my leg felt better afterwards, which is weird. Today I did the same thing, and like I feel really good right now. Like my leg feels good, knee feels good. So I'm still not gonna do any car. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can run now tomorrow. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm still gonna wait until the end of October, because technically it wouldn't be a month until really after the 11th. Because the reason I remember that, I don't remember the exact date I got injured. Honestly, I could actually look at my phone because I was recording myself and you see myself get hurt. It's funny. Um, but I know it was after my pop's birthday, and my pop's birthday was the 11th last month. It's about to be 11th of this, so I think I'm just now coming on a month. So technically, according to your pop's advice, this is really when I would actually start feeling less pain, which I never really felt pain like that, anyways. But anyways, long story short, that was good. I intensified my workouts to an extent, in a way where I'm still safe, on my leg, and it felt good. My leg feels good. That's a plus. So that I'm happy about that at the crib. I will say this, get a little bit personal, but I won't get too personal. I think my mom's and my sister probably gonna end up being off me because I did tell them I was gonna go out there for Thanksgiving, but I'm starting to have second thoughts, and I'm really starting to kind of switch, and I'm thinking about I'm gonna hold off till next year now, not because of anything malicious, not because of anything, well, obviously it's gonna be some personal things, but um, I had two big financial things planned before that came into play. You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of everyone going out there for Thanksgiving, happened. You know what I'm saying? I already had two things planned before that when it was referencing my birthday, and then obviously the other thing. So it's like I'm looking at the expenses. I'm looking the amount of time I'll be there. It's like I part of it, I think, in my best interest personally, financially, just for what I'm trying to do right now and get set up. I feel like I should wait until next year. That's how I'm feeling right now. But we'll see. So
I
right
mean,
now,
you don't gotta do Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? You always can go whenever you feel like you want to at
and
the
see
same
that's the
time.
point too. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go, I can get all my things set up, get done, be finished. Maybe have everything settled by March, and then be like, oh, summer, I want to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it too. Like the same way you see it, that's how I see it. But there, you know what I'm saying? So I might
At
end up
the end
just
of the day, I know what your goals is. I know how your work is going, and I see you're over that. You're like here, and it's like you're trying to, get over that. So it's like when you feel like you're gonna get here and then have to go back like this to go back like this, you like, So sometimes it's like I gotta climb. So it's like no disrespect, but if I gotta climb, then I'm gonna do it my way.
and that's what there's one thing my pastor tell me that he did tell me like take care of your shit before. So I'm like that's what I'm thinking. But anyways, long story short, real quick, salute the project, man. Appreciate you hopping up in here.
Good
Yo,
with your
what's good
vibe.
with it? You know what I'm saying? Salute to that. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button if y'all up in here. So some love. Anyways, long story short, I had a cool. I can't be mad at this Sunday. I'm finishing off. I got a little something in my cup. Fluence. Feel great.
You saw
So
BMF?
I did watch that. I forgot. That's what I did pre workout. So when I was chilling after clean, I watched BMF. Um, so I would say out of 5, I'd give it a 4.3. I think I got 4.3. I just ordered some Chipotle, so some Chipotle is on the way. I'm gonna eat that tonight. So cool Sunday. Yeah, it's your state about that. The only thing though, I would give it a higher rating if my AC was not broken. My AC suddenly stopped working yesterday. I already put in the
It'd be too
maintenance
hot up in
report,
there, boy. It'd be too hot
bro.
over
I'm
there,
telling
boy.
you. So hopefully they here tomorrow because if they're not here tomorrow, it's gonna be rough. But I was supposed to get a fan, but I said I'm just gonna rug it out for one night because I'm like, well, technically 2 nights because they said they'll be here tomorrow. So hopefully they gets it fixed. So it'd be higher if it wasn't for that bullshit. Other than that, I give it 4.3. It was solid.
I'm glad that your days is getting better.
It'd be hit or miss though. You know what I'm saying? Because if we did Fluences in on Saturday, you know, uh, If we did it on, saying Friday, so it's like but at the same time, you're still right though. If you look at it from what you say, they're getting better. So gradually, Friday wasn't the greatest, Saturday was a little better, and then today, so yeah, salute to that.
As long as your good days are still better than your bad days, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, getting better. Because I'm like, you can have a bad day, but you can have a great day and be like, well, damn, I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of snap yourself out of that slump or how you was feeling in that moment. So I'm like, as long as you feel like you're getting better, because I'm like, that's all I be trying to do, bro. Just have better days, because you always don't have bad ones.
Yeah, salute to that.
And you got this, and that's. But anyway, my day, it was great, bro. So I woke up. I don't know, something's wrong. I don't want to say something wrong, but maybe I'm focused. Maybe I don't know what's going on, but I can't get past 6:30 in the morning, man. I just be up.
Hell no.
I'll be up. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just be up. I be thinking like I'm late or something. Look at my phone. I'm like 6:30. By that time, though, I'm already up. I can't even get that good REM sleep no more. So I just be up. But anyway, so I was up, went to the gym, came back, watched some football. So this is the first day I was in this men's league, right? So I was hooping and shit. It was crazy, bro. So we about to warm up to get the game going, right? So these niggas in the blue, they lost, right? Off a tip back. Like, it was crazy, bro. This Mexican dude, a hit, yeah, he for sure was Mexican, bro. So he got the ball, right? I'm looking at the competition. I'm like, these niggas is weak out here, right? Bro, like third play in, bro. He jab step, right? Dude move. He go 1-2, picks that bitch up, jump, and slam that motherfucker on him. I was like, whoa. Like even everybody in the gym was like,
his snipers. That nigga, he be talking like he could do that.
Man, man, I'm about to show him something. Watch, I got something cooked up for him. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna show him. Like, all right, snipers was good. But anyway, so I'm about to warm up. I'm asking what bench we about to be on, because people was like, the other team's on our bench. I'm like, so what's going on, right? So whole time I'm thinking that, at the same time I'm looking at over at the team. They mad over there because they lost off because that same dude that dunked it, he ended up winning the game off a tip back. Dude went down there, threw up some crazy layup. He came out the cut out of nowhere, just tipped it in. They lost. So they over there arguing, right? So it's this big dude, bro. He had to be like 6'7", bro. 300, no cap. Get on his ass.
Yo, that's funny as fuck. I did not expect this nigga to pop up.
I know. Nigga, I'm here, nigga. What are you talking about?
That nigga said, you saying my name, bro.
That is
hilarious. Talk your shit, man.
But anyway, so he like 6'7", 300, no cap, right? So the dude, he kind of talking to, I'm looking, bro, he gotta be like 5'5", bro. No cap, fool, like 5'5", bro. Like, he little, bro. He gotta be like 140, bro. He don't weigh nothing, like, you know what I mean? But they arguing over there, and I'm looking. And so he kind of get loud. I can't really hear the other little dude's voice. Maybe it's lower. Can't really hear what he's saying, but he must be saying something, because old dude hot, right? He's like, motherfucker. And so I kind of see him kind of step up, and then he stepped back. So I thought he was going to, run up on him or something, but then he stepped back. So I'm like, okay, they just up there talking. They just probably mad about the loss, right? I keep looking, bro. All you see is this, bro. Nigga, what the fuck you talking about? Bam! Slap the fuck out that little nigga, bro. Like, really hard. Like, bam! All you see is motherfucker just clashing. Like, hey, whoa. You got this big, I don't even want to get on her, but she was a bigger lady. She coming out there trying to wobble and trying to come out. I'm like, she about to get hurt. Bro, really slapped that little boy, bro. He was really like in tears. You could see he's in tears. And then one of his homies was like, should I go out there? I was like, bro, it's up to you. He's like, I got that thing on me now. We go out there and get right. I'm like, look, bro, do what you do. Like, I would recommend you, though, don't throw your life away for his. And he didn't do it. I might have said something.
It's funny though. That's the difference between, and that's what we found out. Cali, wherever you at in Memphis, because it
would have been over for him, bro. It would been over for him,
nigga. Because damn well that nigga just slapped him because he was little.
That's what I told him. He was like, I got into him before. I'm like, bro, look, I'm gonna tell you now. Only reason he slapped him because he knew like that little nigga had no chance to do nothing to him. I'm like, let that have been me or something. He not gonna just slap me, bro.
So if I'm his boy, if honestly, if he just got slapped like that and I'm rocking with him, honestly, I'm doing something. I don't know what it is. I
But
gotta
he
call
5'5" too.
Oh,
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
gotta
like
go for the legs, man. He gotta go for the legs, man.
bro. This is a big boy. I'm telling you, bro. Like he big. He got big dreadlocks, bro. He like his
I
shoulders
don't,
are like.
hey man, at that point, man, we here, man. Like you just
I
disrespected
feel
my
you. I'm
boy.
not gonna get
I'm
slapped like
rolling with
that.
my boy. It's like me doing nothing. I look more of a bitch than if I let him beat my. I didn't even allow myself to even defend myself against this nigga. So nah, I'm not. I ain't feeling let that nigga.
Look,
I'm
you
like I'm
could
doing
blame me
something.
because I gave him a logical answer and he took what I said. That's all I'm
Doing
saying.
something, nigga. Well, y'all in the gym? Is there weights
Yeah,
outside?
it was a gym. It was a gym.
So there's weights outside.
What you mean weights?
Like, is there weights?
No, I was in Apple Valley, bro.
But is there any weights anywhere?
No, I was
Like,
at
is
the
it an
community
LA
center.
Fit or something?
I was at the community center.
Oh, that nigga just got see. If I'm thinking about my advantage, I go get a weight or something like that. Come back like nigga, what's up?
Nah, all he had was the outside.
That's it. There's
That's
rocks though in the desert like crazy.
Bro, what's that dude? Little dude gonna come up with a rock and do, bro?
I had two rocks, both hands, nigga. What's happening?
You talk about from you, bro. You like you could
I'll
tap
figure
into that,
something out.
but you could tap into that
I
though.
don't care
Like
what it look like. This
that
nigga ain't
dude.
finna slap my nigga, and I'm like, I'm out here, especially if the nigga like if he said, all right, he's 6'10", nigga. All right, what am I finna figure out? All right, bet I gotta get an advantage. Like nigga, I ain't little, but I know if I just try and handle him like this, it might be a problem. Nigga, let me go get 2 rocks. I come back, nigga. What's happening?
I'm just thinking like all those people didn't have his back, bro. Like everybody watched
He just needed one. Also, that's it. I'm telling you, go for that nigga's legs, man. If I had 2 rocks, nigga, the first one I'm throwing at that nigga's face. The
So
other
you
one
talking
I'm
about
rushing
that
in.
though? They wasn't talking about no rocks, bro. They was talking about other things. So I'm like,
But he got slapped. There's nothing to talk about after you let a grown man slap you. Is he grown? Is this nigga over 21?
yeah, and I don't know about 21.
All right. If he's not, then that nigga can live another day. But if he's over 21, then that's something that you gonna sleep at night. It's gonna be hard for you to get rid of out of your head. Because you let another grown man slap you and you didn't do nothing about it.
Bro, his day is tattered for sure, bro. Because he was crying, bro. I seen it in his eyes, bro.
Tell me that, bro. Chill. Chill. Because I'm like, you can't, like, you just saw Deontay Wilder literally get destroyed. That nigga didn't shed a tear. So I'm like, you gotta, like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you sometimes,
bro,
I'm
but
like,
you don't see how he slapped him, bro. I saw all everything. Like it was like
I don't
like,
care
what?
if that nigga slapped me and I got knocked out. When I wake up, I'm like, nigga, who did it? Where is he? If I can't find him, it is what it is. But if that nigga's still over there standing there like you a bitch, then I'm gonna have to defend myself. Even if I run back over, even if I run back over and I get knocked out running, I'm like, shit, I did what I was supposed to do, and I'm just going to take that. But me just allowing a man to slap me and I just cry and I leave it alone, absolutely not.
I'm like, I don't know why he was still at the gym. I'm thinking like, bro, you supposed to be going plot. You supposed to be getting the homies riled up, something. You supposed to be doing something.
I'm right there. I'm handling it. I'm going for the nigga's legs.
But anyway,
double leg takedown, elbows, eye gouge, neck.
I was just thinking, like the whole ride back, I was just thinking, like, damn, he really let that nigga just slap that nigga. Like, it was sad, bro. But anyway, after that, playing in the league, dropped 30. Light work.
Oh, you sound like Kevin, man.
Kevin dropped 32.
I don't know. He said he dropped 20 something.
I could believe that, bro, because like how Kevin played, bro, ain't too many like bigs up in the leagues, man. If they are, they're like out of shape. Like I'm talking about out of shape. Well, at least the one I'm in. So I'm like, I can figure. I only can imagine other leagues got more out of shape dudes. I'm like, Kevin's
flex,
got a
I should say.
Flex. Yeah, he got you know some swiftness to him. That good first step rip through. Like, not too many people gonna be able to guard that right there.
Salute. Keep going though, brother.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You didn't give us the rating, nothing. Where you at?
Oh, 5. 5. That slap really just made it a 5 because it was like crazy because you just didn't expect that. Not like you expect something to happen. You expect an altercation, somebody getting down, punches thrown. To see another man just get slapped like that, bro, and nothing happened.
I would feel that would devastate my day. I'd feel terrible for that brother. Cause I'd be like, man, he's going like, how are you gonna be able to live? Like, you supposed to go to work, man. Do whatever you have to do tomorrow.
God give you what He gives you, and you gotta figure out how to use that.
That's my point.
He should have ducked. And then like it was fast. I didn't say
That's
he
what
came
I'm
like,
saying. That's
ow.
what I'm saying. Sometimes I'll be feeling like people be having the wrong people in their circle. Niggas be in the wrong sport sometimes. Nigga, if you 5'5", nigga, you should be learning how to fight.
Fight.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know
Homie,
niggas is
AP only
always going
talk
to
shit
test
because he
you.
know he could fight. You imagine
That's
AP
what I'm
couldn't
saying.
fight.
I'll be like,
Be
some
quiet.
niggas be in the wrong sports. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you under 6 feet, I get them hands right, man. So there's some exceptions because some niggas is just athletic. Well, I either get the hands right or I'll be in football. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So that means if you under, that's another thing too. Them under 6 feet niggas will be in football. They be yoked. So them tall niggas, they be like, man, do I want to test this nigga? I'm not sure, man. This nigga might. I'm gonna let that one go. But them little niggas who just be little, they be like, man, what this nigga gonna do? But a little yoke nigga who's athletic, like, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But you a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like that's it. But they ain't never gonna slap him.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna happen.
Bro, nobody gonna just walk up to Nate Robinson and just slap his ass.
I don't know now, maybe
now because he got exposed.
Yeah, you chose the wrong person.
You I mean, anybody gonna walk up like, man, you ain't gonna be on nothing. Cause you got credit when he was down to JR.
You could have chose anybody else. I don't know about now. But you did. Oh, you said it was a 5 because little bro got slapped. That's cold, man. It should be a 4.7. It shouldn't be a 5. That's cold. You should feel bad for that young brother. Hopefully, man, he might end up, making a career out of this. He might be like, damn, nigga, I gotta go learn how to fight. And then that nigga ends up being a beast. Next thing we know, he's a UFC champion.
Hey, bro, if that happens, I'm gonna tell you who it is. I'm like,
you call. Hey, tell him to hit me up, man, if he wants to learn how to be able to feel confident in that situation rather than crying.
I can't. Don't be talking about he's crying, bro.
First 3 sessions is free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he might quit after the 3rd section, bro.
But he's gonna feel more confident when he's walking around, though. My Wi-Fi been acting up. Like my Wi-Fi was good. Like, see, I'm gonna figure what's going on. I'm gonna call these fools. I'm gonna call Xfinity. I'm like, look, man, my Wi-Fi has been terrible, and it hasn't been because of the wind. It hasn't been because of the weather. You want to know why I know that? It's because it's hot as hell. Because my AC is not working, so it's definitely not windy outside. Or I had the window. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I had 4.3 as my day. You said your day ended up being a 4.7. Or excuse me, a 5.
Even though I go 4.7, bro. All
right, because that's disrespectful to the little brother, and I salute to the little brother, and I hope you pick yourself up and you allow that to fuel you into being a better person. Don't allow that to take you down. Don't allow that to not be amazing. Hey, I don't mean that everyone gets slapped, even if it's not physically. Sometimes it's by life. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out how to get up and do what you do. So salute to that young brother. And the big nigga who slapped him and bullied him, don't worry. Yours is coming. Trust me. You're going to do that to the wrong nigga. You're going to do that to the wrong little nigga. You're going to be like, this little nigga, I'm going to slap him too. And this little nigga, he going to go for the legs. So.
This nigga going to go for the legs.
Salute.
I know what he like, rip his ACL out and shit.
Bro, I'm just saying, I'm like, as soon as that nigga gets, like, as soon as he come, see, he slaps him, and then the little nigga like, oh, really? Bow, slap. This nigga goes, and he does a, what was that brother's name? Oh man, I'm forgetting his name. But he just kick his knee in. Whole knee just caves in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I should be bad.
Anyways, though. I'm gonna lead this one off right now. We've been getting into it. I definitely had this titled strategically, because I did definitely want to get in these things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, Fluence and Zien, it can be, based around nothing. Based around basketball, all types of things, but I just think this is too much going on in the boxing community. Finesse to not address it. We talked about it some yesterday, but would it be in the day past? In the title, I strategically put Tyson Fury GOAT. I put Tyson Fury GOAT, and I put Deontay Wilder. You knew what his type was going to say. He said, "So my man got slapped and cried about it." He's like, let me sum up that whole thing right now. So is this what you telling me? Brother got slapped, cried about it, let it go.
6'7", like 300, bro. I'm telling you, they was woo-wop Woody why he said bam. The little dude got into it. They broke up with him. Dude ended up walking outside. Little nigga was sitting there. woo, going back and forth. He's going in and out of the gym. I
like
don't
it
know
was
what he
his
was
daddy.
doing. And then when he came in one time when I'm warming up, I looked in his face and he had some tears on his face. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So he didn't cry publicly, but he had to
He wasn't like,
lean.
he wasn't
Okay,
doing
that's
nothing
what
like
I had in
that.
my head. You had to clarify
Oh,
that, bro.
bro, he had tears for sure flowing down. Though it wasn't like his face was.
Man.
You feel me? I'm not saying he was booed, but he could have been mad, crying.
I'm not
Like,
even
you
saying
can get
there's
mad and
nothing
cry.
wrong with that, but I'm like, if you're gonna cry, if I'm crying, I'll be crying with rocks in my hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With something,
something. You
with a
just letting
table,
that
with a
nigga know,
chair.
like, look, nigga, I don't give a fuck how mad you was, nigga. You finna catch some smoke. Something
Something,
happening
bro.
to
Like,
your being.
if anything, if I'm gonna be little, I'm also gonna be a crazy little nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to worry about something. I'm finna find
He
something in
could at
this
least
joint.
hopped in the whip, try to run him over.
I'd
I'm
have
not
grabbed
trying
the
to condone
pen, nigga.
that.
Let me find a pen. What's up, homie?
You
Roll
John
up
Wick.
on me. It don't matter. I'm gonna do something with it. Shit.
That's hilarious. But
I'm
what was
telling
he
you, man.
saying? Oh, you wanted to talk about you see your title.
Oh, yeah, it's a day removed. You know what I'm saying? I said Tyson Fury GOAT in the title. I also said Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. I also want to touch on Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter. But first and foremost, I want to discuss this. Tyson Fury GOAT. Is Tyson Fury the GOAT of heavyweights? With us being a day removed, is Tyson Fury the GOAT of heavyweights? He's the best heavyweight we've ever seen, the most skilled heavyweight. Do you see him ever being dethroned? Where does Tyson Fury, like, what's up, man? We don't really touch on Tyson Fury like that, but I think it's only right that we just give him a little shed of light, man. Let's not be
I
too
say
biased.
this: me and you been known since 2015 how great Tyson Fury was, or he could have been. You're right. And when he did he fell from grace. Whatever he was going through his problems. We been knew when he came back. We all said Fury's gonna be a beast. We just said, what's he gonna look like after 3 years, right? We saw the first two warm-up fights. We're like, and then when he got with Wilder, it was like, okay, he back. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I agree with that. It's not
easily,
great.
I 100% agree with you.
Or
But
just be a crazy little nigga. You don't really gotta know how to fight, but know how to
yeah,
turn it
just
up
like
and be
act
on
like you
some
got a
weird shit. Like,
temper and
whoa,
you
whoa,
just do
okay,
some
chill, bro.
crazy off the wall type, something gonna be
But don't allow someone to just straight up slap you, nigga. But if you get at the point, even if you don't got nothing in you, if someone slaps you as a grown man, like, I know someone may have a different, but I say over 21 at the very least. It don't matter if you gonna get your ass whooped or not. Don't let no grown man slap you and you're not doing nothing about it. That's just my opinion.
I agree. But you feel me? We been knew how great he could be or was. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I don't give him the GOAT of heavyweight because I just feel like you got to fight who you got to fight. But I just feel like people talk about resume. It's not like he's had the greatest resume. You know what I mean? Like him being Klitschko for sure. But I'm like, you can't tell Joshua that his Klitschko win was washed up and whatever when you didn't fight Klitschko necessarily in his prime either. Nigga was fighting since the 90s. You know what I mean?
Can I call a bias in the sport too when it comes to Wilder being a bum? A lot of people say Wilder's a bum. He's not that good. He has a terrible resume, and there's a lot of bias when there becomes a Wilder. And it's not me being a Wilder fan. I'm just being this obvious because I knew Fury was going to beat Wilder, but I am a Wilder fan. But at the end of the day, how is Tyson Fury the greatest heavyweight in the world, right? When possibly his two greatest wins are Deontay Wilder and Klitschko, right? So if Wilder is a bum, then technically you wouldn't count Wilder as being any type of accomplishment, right?
Competition.
And if you know, Fury's done something that is actually strategically and great when it comes to being a marketing wizard, is he's always complimented Wilder after his wins. Why? Because he's giving, not only, he's being respectful, he's giving Wilder his credit, but he's also saying, hey, I know I was talking all that shit before the fight. I was calling him a bum. I was saying all these different things, but this dude, he beats anybody else. But
He
also
knows
it's
it though.
important for his legacy as well, right? If you've seen the two knockdowns, and I can pull it up honestly, and we'll get to that. I can pull it up. But if the way that Wilder the way that Wilder dropped Fury in the third fight, they were short range punches, and this is the first time I've ever seen Wilder drop someone from those type of punches. He was literally on the inside, boom, short range, and Fury got hurt. He's never done that before. So that tells me that Wilder, unfortunately, what made him great also ended up, being his boom. Just because matchups make, boxing. And
I see Deontay Wilder.
real quick,
Oh,
let
my
me finish
bad.
this.
I'm sorry.
Fury being the greatest heavyweight at this time in his style is the worst matchup for Deontay Wilder, because what made him great was that right hand and learning how to set up the right hand. Because that made him so great, he never learned how to be able to set it up in different type of ways, or at least putting something extra in it where he would be able to get it off in a much more effective type situations. Because people want to say Wilder started late, but also too, you do have to give some credit to Malik Scott because you saw Wilder doing new things. So part of me says, hey, you criticize Wilder so much dropping Breland. Yeah, it may have been on something that people don't agree with, but for the longest, y'all said I haven't seen improvement of Wilder. He's doing the same things over and over. We saw a small difference subtle with Malik Scott at 35 years old. Just think if Wilder would have just made that switch. You know, if all the shit wasn't working for him the way he was working for him, think about if he would have made that switch at 29, 28 years old.
But you got to remember, at that time, he didn't have a nigga like Fury in his way. He had the niggas in, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, Wilder has, and this is the perfect example, and I think you're going to agree with it. Wilder has that Russell Westbrook effect. You would talk to a lot of players or a lot of people, and they tell you Westbrook's not no good. Westbrook don't know how to win. Westbrook's not this, Westbrook's not that. But if you go look at his accolades, you're like, ain't too many of your favorite point guards have what he's done, though. What's good with you? Lost one, Michael Hernandez. We're gonna address you because I just want to make sure we get that up in there. But you get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I feel like that's the same thing with Wilder. It's like Curry. He might gonna get the upper hand on Westbrook. Probably not now, but you know, they have the teams equal. It might just go to Steph just because he's a little bit more skilled. You know what I mean? When it comes down to possessions and shots, he's going to be able to produce that better than Westbrook probably could. But doesn't mean Westbrook is necessarily bad, but like put him against now Westbrook versus like a Ben Simmons or something. I feel like
I even think Kyrie.
Kyrie, you get what I'm saying? I just feel like Westbrook can overdo that one versus when I'm just like,
too intense.
Yeah, but it's intense. But it's like Steph's three is just like Tyson Fury's uniqueness and height. It's like we ain't never seen somebody 6'9". We ain't never seen somebody shooting 400 threes in a season. Like that's crazy. It
also comes down to, remember what I said when I was looking at the fight. I said Fury looks in great shape. I see you at Snipers. You talking that shit. It's preseason. None of that matters. Preseason does not matter, bro. So first and foremost, chill out. And as soon as the season starts, you better believe me, we going live for the Cavs versus the Bulls. You see that right there. Just because you think you have a better team than me.
No, y'all team nice. Y'all team nice.
I'm telling you. You talking
marketing
to me?
Was a great pickup. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Sexton and marketing, just wait, bro. That's what I'm saying. And Ricky Rubio, bro, just wait.
And y'all got Garland though. Don't disrespect Garland, man. Garland good.
I'm just waiting until we use Garland as a trade pick so we can get a solid 3. That's it. That's all I'm waiting for.
Anyways, y'all got K-Love too, man.
I'm just waiting to trade away Kevin Love so we can get a good young just something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Kevin Love no more. We need to trade Garland for a solid 3. We don't need him. Anyways, talking all that shit is Snipers. Let's see what they say. You ain't shit, bro. I know you talking this shit. We're gonna go live one day. You're gonna see when the season comes, we're gonna get at work, bro.
But that's what I want to say about Wilder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's because I'm like you said, like, come on, bro. Even after the first fight, like, and I know Fury knows he probably won that fight regardless, being knocked down twice. He said, look, I don't have nothing bad to say about Deontay Wilder. You know, he promotes the other fights and everything, but I'm like, he knows like that power is different, but he knows he's different. You get what I'm saying? He's like, I actually have met a match, but his whole bravado is everybody's a bum. You know what I mean? I'm gonna mop the floor with him. They're a bum. I probably would go jack off. You know what I'm saying? Man, he said he was gonna jack off like 8 times a day or something like that.
Yeah. I do remember that.
You get what I'm saying? Like he knows how to promote a fight. He's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Singing after the post conference. He's just trying to win everybody's hearts that he's a big lover, smooth operator machine, right? But I'm like, only reason Wilder lost is because if he would have had his tactics, because my daddy was like, what did Wilder weigh in at? I was like 238. He was like, what? He usually come in around 217. I said, that's the same shit Darren said.
Bro, I'm like, bro, just imagine you being comfortable and doing something for 10 to 12 years of your life. And when you are older in age, you decide, hey, maybe I should gain 15 pounds of muscle. It might look good. It might look great. But you really think you're going to be able to perform athletically at what you were able to perform in your prime years at a
Yeah,
certain
exactly.
weight. Now you're older and you're going to put more weight on and think you're going to do better. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that's where it comes down to, like, I'm like, who advised that? Who said that was okay? Like, why would you not? And I know it's because, yeah, he's a much bigger man. You know how he's going to work you, and in the sense of he's going to put a lot of your weight on, a lot of his weight on him. But if you saw in that third fight, when Wilder was letting his hands go, Fury was hesitant coming in and closing the distance. So think about if Wilder was doing that at 217. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, he doesn't have the same power. No, that's not true. He knocked everyone out at that weight. He floored Fury at that weight.
But think about it. Nobody's like Fury's got knocked down twice in the same round for the first time in his career. Like at the end of the day,
both of them beautiful.
Yeah,
respectfully.
But at the end of the day, I'm just thinking like why is that not talked about? Yeah, like we all know. Like even I saw Terence Crawford. He was like, shout out to Wilder. He's like, but after that fourth round, like his leg, he didn't have no more legs. He was just out there just surviving. Really. And I was like, that's really true. Like he was tired.
And you want to know that shows the bravado in Wilder after that fourth round is he still went all the way to the round 11. Think about if he was 217.
He would have did that easy because he did it the first time.
He might have lost, but he would have made it all through 12 rounds. I just don't understand who said, hey, it's smart to put more weight on. That's not your natural weight.
Because, bro, every basketball player comes in at their probably natural weight. Like Bron come in probably like 280. By the time he get mid through season, he's in his shape prime 260. You know what I'm saying? Like he's working down
right now in preseason. He always works his weight off in the season. Yeah, he's big as hell, but
about to get down to 230.
230. By mid-season, he'll probably be 225, I think. Well, he'll probably be that by playoff. By playoffs, he'll be about 220.
25, yeah. But you get what I'm saying? You work down to what you're comfortable in. You're getting yourself in shape game by game.
And boxing was the most cardio-based sports in the world, so it doesn't make sense to me. A guy who can carry knockout power on a man who's 6'9", 253 at 217. Why do you feel you need to bulk up to almost 240 pounds? Right? Adding more muscle does and see, this is what doesn't make sense to me. Like, these guys are so high level, they have millions and millions in the bank. They're paying strength and conditioning coaches, they're paying guys to tell them who advised them and said, hey, if you add more muscle, you'll be able to carry more weight. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because when you go into the gym, if I add more muscle, I can carry more. No. Usually carrying more weight, you actually add more fat. People who weigh more pounds and they have more fat, they're able to lift more, right? But that means you're taking away from your cardio, right? Power, boxing power, knockout power, that's just God-given. Ain't no nigga with no knockout power all of a sudden weighed more and had knockout power. It don't work like that. Ask Big Baby Miller. You know what I'm saying?
It's just the look, like you said. It's like, bro, the big bodybuilders.
If we're talking about one punch knockout power, right? Fury, some people might say, oh, well, look at Fury now. That's different. We're talking about Fury, Fury does not have one punch knockout power. What he did to Wilder was he wore that man down. And he kept putting them hands on him. And after a while, Wilder just doesn't have any defense. He doesn't know what to do in that sense.
When Wilder hit his knee on that canvas, I knew it was over. I said, oh, man, this nigga.
Real quick. It's Sniper said, man, there ain't no losers. When you go home to the check and you get that hit, that come on now. I'm not saying there's losers. In Wilder's sense, if you want to criticize Breland, the only loss he might take from this is he took too much damage. He didn't have to go out. Like, he went out like that and we all respect it. But that's gonna, like, he's 35 years old. Like, where's he going from here after that? That wasn't no like just, oh, you know what I'm saying? He got hurt.
But Pacquiao came back. But Pacquiao, bro, he came back. And you saw how he was looking. His wife was crying fool when he was.
How big is Manny Pacquiao?
5'7".
And how big was the dude he was fighting?
I don't know. How tall is Marquez?
5'7", 5'8". How big was Wilder?
6'7".
How big was Fury?
6'9".
So you don't think maybe possibly fighting a bigger man and taking a hit like that might be a little bit worse on your career than the man? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I may be wrong, but I'm just saying I'd rather take that type of damage from a smaller man than a bigger man. But I may be wrong. That's me, just eye test. I could be wrong. Real quick, Lossman said, I think he put the muscle on to try to muscle Fury out the clinches, but it's pointless. He's 40 pounds heavier than you, regardless. Wilder was able to put Fury on his backside at 220. No, not even 220. If you look at that weigh-in, he was 217. So it doesn't make sense to put on muscle
when you already knocked him down twice.
Right?
being
in my
lean.
opinion, I think the game plan, especially with someone like Malik Scott, who's working on feints, who's working on disengaging, who's working on using footwork to get out of certain aspects, I think I would say Wilder coming lighter, because the point of the fight is to stay away from getting in those clinches, right? You being lighter, you being faster, you being quicker on your feet, that's what we're going to rely on. You staying away from you engaging in those clinches. You being coming in at a heavier weight, we're basically supporting, or we're basically saying, hey, Wilder, come in, when Fury engages in the clinch, grab onto him too and let's see who's stronger. That doesn't make sense. That's not smart. Fury is naturally the bigger man. So we want to avoid, the same way Fury is somewhat finding ways to negate or avoid that right hand from Wilder. Wilder needs to be doing the same thing when it comes to clinches with Fury, because that's going to be his downfall, and it was. That was his downfall. That's how he lost the fight, and bad defense. But that's another story. Absolutely, I'm not taking anything away from Wilder, man. I actually support. I thought it was an amazing fight. It was a fight, probably going to be one of the fight of the years. So. I thought Wilder really showed his heart. Really, and Malik Scott did a good job showing, bringing something out of Wilder that we hadn't seen. And even then, I really even think there wasn't that much improvement in Wilder in the fact of what he was doing. It was just more so he was just in very good condition, even though a lot of people want to say that maybe possibly, on the slightest fact, he had too much muscle. I just think if he came in at an actual natural weight that he's used to, we would have saw, because if you can go 11 rounds with 20 pounds extra muscle on you, think about what you could do. If we're talking about a combat sport that you naturally do, like Zen, imagine you doing what you doing, you had 20 pounds.
I ain't probably dunking.
Not even that. Think about, would you be able to play 3 games in a row?
No. I mean, maybe, but I'll be really gassed.
But exactly, you'll be taking a lot more breaks than you would at the weight you are now. It's the same for me. If I go for a run, or if I'm sparring with someone, whatever it may be, or if I'm shadow boxing, if I had 20 pounds right now, it's like I may feel or look good, but when it gets to them rounds where I gotta go, it's rough. Max, I see you in the stats. Be careful, motherfucker. Heavyweight class is different. You're right though.
Why you say be careful?
Just be careful. He was on some bullshit on the other stream, so I'm like, don't be on no bullshit up in here.
If they was working on foot game, why Wilder heavier? Doesn't make sense. Wilder was heavier because I think at the same time Malik helped him. Malik was also still a yes man. So Malik didn't tell him, like, look, brother, why do you need more weight? You're already knocking this man on his back. You getting stronger, bigger, ain't gonna make your power any more emphasized. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have what you have.
And that's not really Malik Scott's place. You feel me? That's whoever he hired, because I'm like, Wilder's making enough money where he has different coaches, different trainers for different aspects. So he has a strength and conditioning coach. So that's whoever his strength and conditioning coach was taking care of that. That's on them to tell him whether or not they feel he should come in heavier, they should drop weight. And most likely Wilder's probably calling the shots when it comes to that aspect of it. That's just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That works against everybody else. No, but against Fury, it doesn't.
Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
I hear what you're saying though, because the thing is, you see that the divisions is eventually going to get unified. So it's like if Fury ends up being that guy that does not lose, then it's like, what is Wilder doing? But at the same time, could he be like a Francis Ngannou, even though they already fought 3 times, like Francis Ngannou, and come back and try to work on things, and eventually when he does fight Fury again, he can implement those things and maybe come in at the way he should. Because I'm like, nobody probably thought Ngannou was going to come back and knock Stipe out, right?
And let me say this, no, I agree with that. And let me say this too, because to Hernandez's point, kind of agreeing with you, Wilder will definitely beat anyone his size. So because Wilder is exceptional at the big man game. If you played the big man game all your and a lot of people probably don't even understand what I'm saying to the big man game.
I know what you're talking about, the big man game.
Yeah, there's a specific concept to it. You saw George Foreman utilize that game in a lot of his fights. So if you want to know what I'm talking about with the big man game, just look at a lot of George Foreman's fight. He would utilize that, and Wilder did that to a lot of his opponents. So a lot of people would say, "Oh, he's losing rounds because he can't box." But if you're a bigger man with power and you're not that as a human being, you will never understand the aspect of how George Foreman and how Deontay Wilder boxes, because you never, and like no disrespect, but you never been able to big man somebody. You know what I'm saying? So the same way with that 6'7" dude you were talking about who slapped the little nigga. He's used to being the big man in most niggas. So a lot of niggas can't understand that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree to an extent to what Hernandez says. I think he does have a lot of trouble with people like a Joe Joyce. Because there's some big guys out there who I think that it showed if you can put pressure on Wilder, he doesn't really know how to land the right hand properly where he gets the same amount of power as when he's on the back foot and someone's being cautious and he can set it up and he can shoot it out. Or he can come in like a Dominic Brazil and Brazil was just a lot less athletic as Wilder. Go ahead, brother.
No, but I'm like let's be honest though. Like Wilder is the second tallest heavyweight in the division. The second and the second.
You said tallest or heavyweight or heaviest?
Tallest.
Okay,
he's the tallest.
Yeah, I would say tallest.
So Joe Joyce and Joshua are probably 3 and 4 because they're both 6'6".
Joe Joyce is bigger than both of them. Joe Joyce is way bigger than Wilder.
I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying when it comes to Fury, when you have somebody 6'9" coming down
Joe Joyce is like the way he's built. He's similar to a Fury. He just doesn't move like him. Wilder will be able to land the right hand on Joe Joyce.
I'm saying that matters though, because I'm like that's the only thing Wilder couldn't do. He got him twice, but I'm saying he couldn't land it how he wanted to, how we seen him land the right. You get what I'm saying? Because Fury doesn't lean with his chin. He doesn't come in. Fury's always in control. You get what I'm saying? Versus other fighters, they can get out of control or they can lose their control without seeing they lost it.
Well, Joyce's problem, more so is that he's slow as shit and he's just so robotic. He's worse than Joshua, but he's a big man and damn it, he can take a punch.
So you don't think Wilder could knock him out then?
It comes down to I know he'll be able to land it, but I just never seen Joyce get hurt by anybody. He's one of those guys where it's like,
has he fought anybody bigger than him though?
No. I guess the closest he's fought to being as big as him or having that type of knockout power would be Daniel Dubois. I would say.
I don't think Daniel Dubois' power is on Wilder.
He's 6'4", but 260.
Because think about this, bro. Not Mike Tyson can't say whoever stepped in the ring with him went down. Wilder can say that. Wilder can say anybody that stepped in the ring with me hit that canvas more than once. He could say that.
True. Real quick, Lost One said the second knockdown Wilder gave Fury last night. Fury needed the full 9 seconds to get up. If he didn't gas so early, he probably could have won that fight. That's my point. And I'm like, him knocking down Fury in that round had nothing to do with him being at 238 because he did the same thing at 217. I thought it was, remember what I said, one of the biggest factors that were going to come into play. I think people were too worried about Fury's weight, his shape. We needed to worry about Wilder's shape when he came in. And I was very confident in Wilder because I thought Malik Scott was showing him things that were going to not change his game going into the fight, but more so it was going to allow his reaction time and him being able to not so much be stunned and put in a position of awe when he's being attacked and carry that into later rounds. But I'm thinking he's coming in at 225 max. Him coming in at 238, I said it's all over. And I was right when it came to Malik Scott. He did that. Was I wrong? Every time he got hit all the way up to round about 5, he responded. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to get hit. I don't have the greatest defense, but my defense will be my counter punching. I'm going to
because Wilder tries to block like this.
Not even that, man. Remember at one point he blocked and he went like this. He doesn't even know how to. He doesn't. It's just he never learned because he was always the bigger man when it came to sparring. And within that shows he had a lot of yes men in his camp because at no point did he feel like he need to go off on his own and work on some things. But Joe Joyce, the one guy.
So what you're saying is you don't want to see Wilder fight anymore.
I think it looked like he had a pumpkin on his head. What?
So what you're saying is you don't want to see Wilder fight anymore.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But see, look it. He's gonna be there to get hit by Wilder, right? One of the most robotic guys in the world. But that man has hands of stone, and he has a chin like no other. Like, look at him.
But I just think when you're punching down on an opponent versus you're punching equally at the I think that's what threw Wilder off. He's used to punching down towards people versus now he had to go up or he had to.
That's a way big difference.
That's why I'm like, he's taller than everybody else. So I'm just thinking like he's still gonna have the big man advantage. Cause I'm like, he can fight off his back foot, but it's harder when somebody's bigger than you. You feel me? It's like having to guard Shaq versus guarding Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning's still, you know, big specimen, but he's not 7'1". You feel me? 350.
Well, real quick, Sniper said he doesn't see Wilder beating AJ, Joyce, or White.
He crazy about White. That's for sure easy for Wilder. If
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
The only reason so I said this fight was going to be important when it came to Wilder, and I don't know if I said this actually out loud, but depending on how he lost, like I didn't have much faith in him winning, even though I picked him. But I said over, I was like, I kept saying things like, Dillian White has a chance at still having a future because if Wilder loses, so that's me alluding to it. But it came down to how Wilder lost, and he got flatlined at 35 in the heavyweight division. He took a beating for 11 rounds, right? There was only about 2 seconds, or 1 round, 2 rounds where we was like, oh man, we have hope. And yeah, he may have been able to finish it. And I know we said it was a war of a fight, but Wilder was getting beat majority of it. So, like, how does he rebound from this, right? That's the question. Like, if we coming into a rejuvenated Wilder where he says, I lost to the best in the world, and at 35 years old, I'm going to start from the bottom again and work my way back up? Or, you know, did he take one of the worst beatings that, you know, he's ever had? And at this point, it's like, he's either going to believe in himself or he's going to be told by people around him, like, yeah, you still got it. Let's see what we can do. Let's try to get back to the top. But it's like, for me, I'm like, what is he working for now? Because Fury's always going to be the top of the mountain. Fury is 277, but the difference is that he can box. That's boxing. Yeah, that's the biggest difference in all the world. But Michael Hernandez, he said AJ versus Wilder. Wilder would definitely win because AJ has no courage to win. He gives up. AJ, no love, quitter. Wilder loses with dignity. And, you know, that could be something that comes into play, possibly. I agree with you. But I see, I'm not saying skill level. I'm not saying the eye test, because I do think Wilder beats AJ. But I'm just talking about losing the way Wilder did at the age that he's at, and knowing the top of the mountain, even if you decide to climb all the way back, is basically the guy who beat you 3 times, depending on if he's still in the game.
Wilder's going to be like Charles Barkley, man. It's kind of like when Charles was MVP, led the Suns to the best record ever in their franchise history, took them to the finals for the first time, and he lost in 6 games with Jordan. It was like, where does Barkley go now? You know, it's like you went, you did everything you were supposed to do, and you can't beat Jordan. You get what I'm saying? It's like the same thing. It's like he didn't retire. He just got, you know, and I hear what you're saying, though. I hear about the parents, but I'm like, we're talking about Wilder, though. So I'm like, and like I said, unless he just is like, I have enough money and I'm going to be done, that nigga's not going to end his career losing to that nigga. That's just, you know, so
boxing is different in the sense of it's not just I'm taking the L, but it's how you taking the L. Like, there's long-term damage that's different in boxing. You know, you can't just be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with not being the top, but I'm going to keep cruising through, especially at the age that Wilder's at. Like, sometimes you got to re-examine where you at. Be like, is it possible to even get back there? Real quick, Sniper said, no, man, he just gases out too much. Plus, White can just tear down his body pretty. That's nothing. Dillian White, he's going to go at that body crazy. And Sniper said, y'all bugging. Y'all can't be serious, right? He probably like AJ versus Wilder. There's no way Wilder can beat AJ. He's like, you bugging. Sniper said, you know your homework. Salute to you. Sniper said, you talking to me? He's not sure. No, I think he's talking to the Snipers. You hurt. Well, let me say this: he's not hurt, but I know you upset because you probably feel like Wilder would destroy AJ, right? Oh no, you saying Wilder would lose to AJ? Excuse me. And then Michael Hernandez is saying AJ would beat Wilder. I think honestly that fight can be possibly a toss-up. Excuse me. But the only reason I would lean to AJ is because Wilder has just lost in much more devastating fashion than AJ. So psychologically, that's going to wear on you more. Not only that, AJ is younger than Wilder. Not only that,
I honestly
he's been in the ring with the best heavyweight 3 times. AJ hasn't been in there with the best. Usyk hasn't been in there with the best. So it's like there's still a hope of, hey, if I lose to AJ, if I lose to White, if I lose this, I still have this chance of still being at the top. Whereas Wilder's fought that dude where it's like, man, whoever fights this guy, they're gonna lose. It's just a difference when it comes to the psychological part of the game. That's my point.
But you got to see what Wilder is he's like, all right, I'm still gonna try to have my legacy and show motherfuckers I'm still cold. Cause I'm like, he can still have a resume to show people like, look, I could beat everybody else. I just can't beat him and just live with that. I can live with that. If I'm a competitor and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go show everybody I can bust everybody's ass. But when it comes to this particular person, like, you know, like DeMar DeRozan, when he was like, I mean, LeBron James is just crazy, you know? He's just, you know what I'm saying? Basically just saying, like, I'm not going to get to the finals with this guy over here. You know what I mean? It's just like, but you could be like, hey, we still the second best team in the East, though. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to live with that. So I'm like, why?
I agree with you. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, it's just like at this point in Wilder's career and the beatings that he took from Fury in the last two fights, you just can't really compare it that way. You see what I'm saying? Because psychologically, losing in that fashion in boxing is different than I'm just like losing in the playoffs to LeBron. You had a man take your soul.
I hear you, but I'm like,
I'm saying that's different.
It is, but I'm like, when you feel like he's the greatest, I'm like, you can wake up and be like, you know, you're going to feel it. But I'm like, when you still think you can beat everybody else, you're not going to necessarily feel that bad. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, but I'm like, I don't think Wilder is going to be psychologically damaged enough to where he's moping and being like, I can't beat Fury. I think he's going to just be like, well, damn, I got to get better.
So if you believe that at 35 years old in boxing, then why did you think he made the excuses about cheating and really believed it rather than saying, hey, I lost. I just need to hire a new trainer and I need to work on certain things that I didn't work on before and see if I can go in there and be better.
I'm not trying to kick Wilder when he's down because I'm like,
you're gonna answer that question. When he's down.
No, I'm talking about. But if I'm gonna answer your question, it's gonna kick him when he's down because I'm like, why he?
But it's being honest though.
But I'm just like, bro, let's be honest then. Is Wilder the smartest nigga you ever heard talk, nigga?
No, he's not. But he got a lot of people in his corner that's advising him in a certain way.
But I'm saying though, is he the smartest peach? Is he? When he talks, does he look like he could get swayed? I think so.
Well,
Wilder's a person.
Well, if it's somebody in his corner that he trusts, yes, I think he'll be swayed.
I'm saying I think Wilder went with those allegations because somebody in his camp. Because think about it, bro. People can do the research for you in a sense when they make the videos. Because think about it. Before Farrell got banned from YouTube, he went on that rant and was doing all those videos and shit for that. So I'm like, other people was doing the work that Wilder's team probably should have did themselves. But instead of doing the work themselves, they went off what other people was doing. Was like, look, bro, this is what we've seen.
I'm not against any of that. I'm not saying I dispute any of that. I'm not saying I'm against any of that. I'm not, at the end of the day, you did what you did. It was out there. You went out there and you lost the fight. You lost the fight. So I'm just saying there's more on the plate to carry than just, hey, I lost to the greatest ever. It would have been that way and that's why probably in the live stream it looked like I was going so hard. Because I remember, my bro Flex, he was like, nah, Malik did, he did good. He did good. He looked better. Good job from Wilder. But I kept saying, nah, we can't give him that credit. And the reason I'm saying that and I'm taking away is just you got to be honest, because even as a Wilder fan, you have to acknowledge the fact that he didn't acknowledge the fact that he lost fair and square in that second fight. Fury changed his game plan and exposed what a lot of people saw from Wilder in the sense of not that he can't box on his back foot, but he doesn't know how to deal with pressure on his back foot. There's a big difference in boxing off your back foot and dealing with pressure off your back foot against a bigger and better boxer. There's a big deal. You can box off your back foot and deal with pressure against a boxer who might be smaller than you. You're playing the big man game, things like that. But against a better boxer and someone who's bigger than you is different. So they took advantage of that. He made excuses. And because of that, I am having the stance that I have when it comes to this.
And I hear why you're going so hard because your whole thing is the allegations. That's the only thing that's making your jambalaya extra spicy.
That's everybody.
That's the only thing that. But I'm saying, but I'm saying,
I'm the biggest Wilder fan. Like, let's be 100. I'm not even the type of dude.
We all are. But I'm saying, when it comes to it, though, I'm like, this is what I was trying to get to you, and you know what I'm saying. I'm like, look. Nigga came from the slums, right? Nigga from Alabama, right? Really ain't had nothing, right? So I'm thinking like this. That's what I'm saying, bro. He had the belt and he was in a position where he was in the limelight. He was the head of the talk. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, when he did all that, this is what was happening. This was, I'm pretty sure when he went to court and demanded that rematch clause that he had, he put this to the judge, and I'm like, the judge must have had some with the this does look interesting, and you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff, and was just like, okay, we're gonna grant that third fight.
But
So
can I
I'm like,
say this? If Wilder really believed those cheating allegations, then obviously he's going to push for the third fight so much because he believes he didn't really lost in the second fight. But
but I'm
obviously
saying
you can
even if
argue he can't. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, bro, you can accept something and still be like, this is what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, what I've learned is like some things do be a game. So I'm like, to me, I could be wrong. This is what I'm seeing. I'm like, I think he just played the game so he could have that, you feel me, moment, still being in the headlight, you feel me, going in there. He probably still believed in a sense that I can knock him down, out because I knocked him down. But I'm like, ultimately, blow, I'm like nobody's gonna be feared. Nobody's gonna be that big and that skilled. Like, moving, feinting, hitting, rack, uppercut, putting together just combos after combos after combos. You feel me?
But
After round.
wait. Can we take away the fact that we keep on talking? Well, obviously we can't take that away. So excuse me for what I'm about to say. So it's going to sound a little bit arrogant, but obviously Fury is skilled. We know that. But let's not act like Fury came into this particular boxing match and he did anything different than he did from his second fight, right? So, and like, if we're going to criticize Malik Scott about anything, is the fact that we knew Fury's game plan. He said, "Hey, what works is Fury doesn't. What works is Wilder doesn't know how to fight off his back punch if I keep putting pressure on him. He doesn't know how to let go his right hand. He doesn't know how to generate power if I smother him enough. He doesn't know how to create certain angles and do certain things. So it's like we can't put too much blame on Scott because Wilder's 35, can't teach old dog no tricks. But let's be real when we look at this. Fury didn't come in with a different game plan. He did the same exact thing he did in the second fight. Wilder lost. And everyone wants to say, oh, Malik Scott did so much better. Yeah, Wilder looked better, I guess. But also, I feel like he would have lasted that long in the second round if Mark Breland didn't throw in the towel. Right?
Nah, I think he get knocked out.
I know he got knocked out in this fight. I don't understand what you're saying.
He wouldn't have went no 11 rounds.
He would have went at least to the 8th or 9th, maybe 10th. He would have been right there.
Stopped in the 7.
Exactly. That's my point.
It was a lot of time in that 7th round when they called it, bro. I don't think he would have made it.
Michael Hernandez said, people think Wilder is dumb, but they have no idea until they get in there with him. I agree with you. I don't think he's done. I'm just saying mentally where Wilder is at, he reached the pinnacle of the pinnacle when it comes to boxing. AJ hasn't. None of these other heavyweights have. What do I mean by that? AJ got the belt, all this stuff. Fury, we all agree from the eye test, Fury is the best heavyweight. At some point, if Fury allows it, if you want to be the best in the heavyweight division, you have to fight him. So Wilder has already been there. So it's not about the fact that he's done. He's not done. He has so much going for him. He beats a lot of these other heavyweights. But in Wilder's mind, is it worth him at 35 going in and taking these fights against guys that he knows he can either beat or possibly take damage from? He doesn't need to take damage from, just so he can say, I'm the second best in the world at 35. Maybe at 28, 29, you're willing to re-go and
I feel like that's the same thing.
I feel
like that's the same thing you could have probably said to DC if John Jones wasn't such a nutball. After he beat him twice, it's like, do you keep fighting DC?
That's different. It's not the same because John Jones wasn't. He got suspended. He wasn't in the UFC. So Cormier had the opportunity to touch the belt. Fury ain't going.
But I'm saying, so if you're saying if John Jones never had those things happen to him, are you saying that DC should have retired then? Because you already lost to him twice.
I'm not saying he would have retired, but I think his career would have been drastically different than what we see it now. I think it would have been a lot different. Motivation is everything, and motivation in combat sports, like when we talk about motivation in combat sports, when you're 30 plus, we have to separate it from, basketball, football, all that type of stuff. Because we're talking about getting beat the fuck up for a living. So that's different. Psychologically, it's not even close. So it's like Wilder is 35 years old, held the belt for so many years, knocked everybody out, didn't feel the need to change anything until you went against the greatest heavyweight, I think, is the GOAT on the planet, lost to him 3 times. Yeah, I can go back in the ring and I can beat Dillian White. Yeah, I can go back in the ring. I think the only person I feel like he would go probably in the ring and take the fight against would be AJ. That would be one fight I think if Wilder beats AJ, that adds to his legacy, right? But I think him beating Dillian White, him beating Joe Joyce, him beating Joseph Parker, that doesn't add to his legacy. See what I'm saying? Beating a guy like AJ, that adds to his legacy. It's not said, but you gotta look at it in the way Wilder isn't just gonna stop fighting and be known as a person who got KO'd to the point where he retired. That's how it looks now with snipers. You know what I'm saying? That's how it might possibly look now. But I think later, like if you look at this era of 15 years from now, we're gonna look at Wilder as one of the best heavyweights that we ever have seen, with the most knockout punch power, scariest guy ever next to Mike Tyson, and the only person that he lost to was Fury, who happens to be the best heavyweight that we've probably ever seen in history. So if you're thinking about it from that standpoint, in the future when we're looking at it, Wilder's going to be looked at as one of the scariest guys we've ever seen fighting boxing, but Fury was just technically that much better, right? So Wilder can decide, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to go on from here on out. So Wilder can go on and, think out, I'm going to go from here on out and, and fight whoever he is. But I think it's important who he fights, because I think, yeah, I can hear you now.
Is it crisp? Is it clear?
I feel like it's crisp. Is it crisp?
I feel like it's not.
It's a little bit low. It's a little low.
Low? Is it better now?
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right.
And then Hernandez said if Wilder hit AJ with what he hit Tyson with, he won't get up, plain and simple. I think AJ would get up, but he probably wouldn't be able to recover. He would definitely.
I don't know, because if Andy Ruiz did what that man did, I don't know if Andy Ruiz got more power than Wilder.
No, I mean it would be the same thing. I said he might get up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He's not going to be in his right mind. I see what you're saying.
He's going to get hit again with something, and he's going to fall. Like he's not going to be able to last through 12 rounds.
Hey, but you're right though about the big man game, because remember what he did to Stervin that second fight when he like got hit and then he just hit his chest and then he just got big and shit. Like he can't do that with Fury, because Fury is just like, nigga, what you mean? I'm damn near 316, homie. Like, what's good with you? You know what I mean? So it's like Fury. But see, is it beautiful? Because I'm like, a lot of people think Fury is just a regular white person, and he's not. He's a gypsy. So I'm like, I feel like all that, and then with the boxing lineage he has, I'm just like, he just had too much in his favor for Wilder to know where it really was coming to him, you know? Like Wilder think it's gonna go street hood. Like, we gonna go in here, we just gonna throw anything, kicking. Like, no, you're going in here off strict fundamentals and a game plan.
Well, nah, he went in there and he did that. He did. He leaned on him. He played dirty. Real quick, I want to share this with you guys. I wish it wasn't so hot in my goddamn crib. I need to get this shit fixed. But yeah. My guy Wilder said, and he said it himself. Oh, let me get to it. There it is. Deontay Wilder, Fury came to lean on me, rough me up. Right? Let me click on the story. And he didn't talk. Remember, Wilder didn't speak much after the loss, okay? Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott, wasn't happy after the fight, talking about a passive referee allowing the mauling tactics from Fury. Right? There aren't too many fighters that can be beat. Someone who's used wrestling, headlocks, leaning tactics to wear down and basically slow down their opponent. Get your shit right. That's a misspell. Anyways, Wilder isn't happy with it because he could have won if the referee penalized or disqualified for his grappling. Hopefully, Wilder doesn't lean into these excuses later on and he just goes ahead and take the loss. But I want to get to right here. I did my best, but it wasn't good enough, said Deontay moments after his loss to Fury. He didn't come in at 277 to be a ballet dancer. He came to lean on me, try to rough me up, and he succeeded. And that's the type of things I want to see from Wilder. I want to see him acknowledge the truth. And then he also said here, he was able to implement a few of the things in the early rounds, said Wilder's new trainer, Malik Scott, to these news. After tonight, I'm going to consider him, Fury, a great fighter. Real quick before I'm done. Wilder is good, says Scott, but how about Deontay? Basically speaking on how Deontay's falling out the fight. He had a busted lip, broke his hand, his finger or knuckle is broken. Fury, I'm assuming, will get Usyk shot now, which would be good. I want Deontay to get some good rest. I'll just make sure he gets well. Anyways, so I want you guys to see that real quick. And basically what I'm saying and why I'm showing that is, Wilder has to acknowledge what happened. For him, in my opinion, to still continue to box and have a successful career, he has to acknowledge Fury was the better man, he was the bigger man, and he's just one of the greatest on the planet. If he realizes that and he continues to fight, I think he's going to be okay. But that's a hard one to swallow if you couldn't realize that on the second fight where you got mauled. Real quick, it's
I
Sniper said, but Michael,
mean,
you got to look at what if AJ just goes in there and does what he did with Ruiz in the second fight, where he throws a couple punches and backs up all the fight he can, just get an easy win. Michael Nash said, but AJ fights scared and Wilder doesn't. He mans up. It's Sniper said AJ isn't dumb though. He can just fight scared and he can get that easy dub playing a simple dude. So I actually side with its snipers here more than Michael Hernandez. Hernandez, I understand your point. Zen might come with something different, but I go with its snipers because a lot of people think fighting scared means losing. But sometimes fighting scared is actually intelligent. It's really not even fighting scared. It's actually seeing if the opponent that you're fighting is able to adjust to certain things that you're doing that maybe look boring to the outside public. But as a boxer, when you're doing certain fundamentals, you're saying, oh, the guy I'm fighting, he's not on my level. He doesn't know how to react to this. He doesn't know how to switch up to this. So I can continue to do the same thing where everyone's looking in. It's like, man, this is so boring. Why doesn't he just do this? Why doesn't he just do that? Because he doesn't know. But a lot of people don't, from the outside looking in, if you don't, you never done it or nothing like that, or you might have, or just something just kind of goes past you, is where you're looking at the fight and you're saying, why doesn't the opponent just throw that right hand, let it go? But there's a reason behind it. It's because like FA versus Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez was resetting and feigning and doing certain things that made FA feel uncomfortable with actually letting his hands go, right? Um, so that's something AJ does know how to do. Maybe not to a high level like a Usyk, but he would be able to implement those things against Wilder. And Wilder pre-Fury, I think it wouldn't matter. After Fury, I'm not sure. I'd have to see.
it's crazy, bro. You need to be in somebody's corner or something, bro. Because I'm like, it's just crazy, man. All this good information, man. Like somebody, you can make somebody a Golden Gloves champ, man. Because to me, it seemed like if you had Water in your corner, he'd have came in at a mean lean 220, and he'd have just been like probably just working on those reactions like Malik was
Well,
doing.
not now. If I would have came into his corner now, nah, you would have been like, "Who the fuck is you? I'm a
I'm talking
billionaire.
about if
You
he
ain't gonna come
allowed you to
to."
come in and he really was like, I want to hear, da da da.
It has
I'm
to for
saying,
Wilder. He has so much money. He's had so much success. But you got to understand because we're not just talking about skill. And I feel like people always disconnect this from when we're talking about sports because we live our everyday lives, but we're talking about people, someone who's accomplished something that they feel you can't ever accomplish or never was able to reach. I'm making money that you would never even think of making. I'm paying you. You gonna come in and you gonna tell me how to do something and change something up that, in my opinion, has been working every single time. Who the fuck is you? Like, so people have to put that into mind. Stafford said, no, fighting scared is smart, specifically when fighting against someone like Wilder who isn't skilled and just relies on his right hand and eventually gonna get tired. Absolutely, as snipers. Somebody like that's what we saw Frank Sanchez do against FA. He basically neutralized the right hand of FA. How do you do that? See, you can't do what Frank did against FA against Wilder. Because Wilder is skilled enough and has so much self-belief in his fighting ability. When Frank disengages, Wilder's gonna throw the right. He's gonna be like, nigga, who do you think I am, nigga? We fighting, bruh. And we saw this in this fight. But Fury did a good job of Wilder showing. People want to say he can't fight on his back foot. He can fight on his back foot. He doesn't know how to deal with pressure off his back foot. Those are two different things. And you deal with pressure one or two ways, right? Malik Scott was trying to teach him to deal with pressure off of I get hit, I hit you back. But there's also another aspect of I get hit, I can hit you back. But then also I can defend when you return, and then I can reposition myself in a way where now I'm standing here in the ring, and I'm out of a position to be hit by my opponent, and I can actually return, or I can dictate where I am. Tyson Fury knows how to do that. If you saw Wilder got sloppy, he was on the inside, threw something on the bottom, threw something over the top, circle. Actually, let me see if I can find that clip because I know I got it. It was nasty. Well, I don't know if but go ahead, brother. How do you feel about anything I'm saying?
end of the day, man, at the end of the day, Wilder will be fine. I don't think, you know what I'm saying, as long as his kids is doing good, man, I think he'll be fine. So he'll get
Absolutely, but
healed
we're
up.
not talking. Well, I want to say we're not talking about that though.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. That's why I'm like, even boxing wise, I'm just like, I don't think, you know, like you said, a tough pill to swallow. But I'm like, I don't think necessarily he's gonna necessarily be that beat up.
And real quick, Michael, are you saying just look what Usyk did to AJ, just won 3 rounds? Are you saying Usyk only won 3 rounds, or are you saying AJ only won 3 rounds?
I think AJ.
Because I think if you're saying Usyk, AJ only won 3 rounds, you and it's snipers on the same conversation. I just think y'all, Michael, man, you changed the convo. I don't know what I'm talking about, man, but each to their own pain. I ain't just repping your boss knowledge, but all I'm saying is that you saying Wilder will be AJ is crazy. Look,
It's really not though, because I'm like, at the end of
it's
the day,
not.
y'all,
Yeah,
because
even
I'm
though
like,
I'm
if
with
Andrew
you,
Ruiz did
snipers,
it,
it's
I
not.
don't care. If Andrew Ruiz did it, Wilder can do it. I don't care what y'all trying to tell me, because I see
Because
Andrew Ruiz
AJ isn't Fury. Like, I understand what, like, I don't think it's like that's where I kind of disagree with you with snipers. Like, I'm with you when I say I think AJ could beat Wilder, but to say it's crazy to think Wilder can't beat AJ. AJ's boxing ability is nowhere near Fury's, right? I
If
think
it
Fury's
was, he would have
boxing
beat
ability,
Usyk.
and I think Fury's boxing ability is. I don't think Fury's a better boxer than Usyk. I think Usyk is better because he's always been the smaller man to an extent, right? But Fury is a better boxer because he is a bigger man. Because you have to be like, hey, if I'm looking at a guy who's 6'4", 215, but he's a really, really good basketball player, and I'm looking at a guy who's 6'7", 220, and he's a really, really good basketball player, I'm probably going to pick the 6'7" guy. Not because he's that much better than the 6'4" guy, but because, he's just his athleticism, his athletic ability, his reach. I'm just going to go with that, most likely. That's usually the case. Am I wrong?
That's what most people go with.
That's so I'm like that's part of the game. That is a good point though. Usyk has no power. Like that is a good point. If Wilder lands but see Usyk he can set up his left hand, right hand, whatever you may want to call it if he's switching, but his left hand he knows how to set it up against someone like AJ who's boxing, while Wilder does know how to set it up as well. So it's a tough one. And also Wilder is taller and has a longer reach than AJ. So Wilder can do the big man game against AJ.
And we haven't seen AJ do the big man game since Ruiz
in a long time.
lost. You feel me? Since he lost to Ruiz, we haven't seen the big man game from AJ. So I'm like, I don't think I think psychologically Wilder will be fine, because I know at the end of the day he knows I'm not going to run into skill and that type of height and weight again. And if he does, it'll be for the big shebang again. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if you can say you only lost to one guy, but you put him on his back multiple times, I think he'll live with them. He could live with the results.
People don't want to talk about this when it comes to Wilder as well, is that people want to say, why would you force the third fight with Fury when you know you're gonna lose? Say Wilder had an idea in mind, like, I only have one chance to beat Fury, right? He's kind of said that. And there's a possibility I might lose all 3 with him, but say AJ beats Usyk, right? And it's AJ versus Fury as a mega fight, right? Wilder loses to Fury still in his 3rd fight, right? What is Wilder's biggest payday now end up being?
AJ?
No. Rethink what I just said. He fought Fury 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
AJ actually ends up beating Usyk now, but he forces that 3rd fight with Fury. So he gets the 3rd fight. AJ beats Usyk, and now Fury is waiting after beating Wilder to fight AJ. What is his biggest payday?
Fury.
Exactly. So
I told you he was trying to catch the moment. I told you that. If
you look at it, Wilder cashed in while he could. Fury is most likely going to be my biggest payday, especially after seeing AJ lose to Usyk, because it made it work. Because I'm like, I think actually Wilder had another big payday. Even if Wilder loses to Fury beats AJ versus Wilder would be a bigger fight because AJ looks more invulnerable, right? Or excuse me, more vulnerable. Looks like he has less vulnerability, right? Like he looks like he can't be touched. But now with AJ losing to Usyk and doing a rematch with Usyk and possibly losing again, and now you have Usyk versus Fury, Wilder versus AJ is going to look like.
People are still going to tune in, though. I bet you.
But it's not going to. But he's not going to. it's not going to be as big as payday like it would have been before. That's my point. So it's almost like Wilder is, cashing in while he can because he knows, especially with AJ losing the way he did, this is gonna be my biggest payday for the rest of my career. And being at 35, like this is my biggest payday. Supposedly Tyson Fury made 50 mil and like I think Wilder made like 30 plus
Right.
pay-per-view revenue shares.
Well, I'll make 30 million, but I knew it, bro. I'm just like, I think it was a snipers. He said that Wilder didn't believe it deep down inside, but his ego and his pride, came in the way. And also, it really was the bag. If you had to ask me, like I said, bro, he wants to make sure he has some type of form of generational wealth. You feel me? So I'm like, if he can sit here and say, I at least went to war and have a trilogy with nobody's ever gonna get another trilogy with Tyson Fury. I'm gonna tell you that now. Whoever he fights next ain't gonna be no draw. He gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like that draw was really a blessing in disguise for Fury. I mean Wilder, because at the end of the day, he can say, I went three fights, you know what I'm saying? And I put him on his back. I gave it all I got. I don't think AJ puts Fury on his back. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I don't think Usyk puts Fury on his back. I'm gonna be 100 with you. I don't think Dillian White puts Fury on his back. I'm gonna be 100 with you. So Wilder can at least go in the grave and be like, hey, I'm the only top heavyweight to do that, because Cunningham did that to not twice though, but
to Fury. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But you get what I'm saying? No.
Give me 1 second. I gotta use the bathroom like a month. Let me go use the bathroom real quick. Keep talking to people. Michael just said something. He said, I don't think AJ's beating Usyk in the rematch because they did re-exercise their rematch clause against that. And then, so y'all know, we've been talking about Wilder, we're talking about AJ, we're talking about Fury. We are going to be getting in towards the latter part of this. We're going to be talking about Shawn versus Terence Crawford, because obviously that's the next big fight coming up other than Caleb Plant versus Canelo. I'll be right back. Go ahead, talk to him, Sin.
Dang, it's crazy. I was going to have to go to the bathroom myself. I really want to take a shower, though. He don't even understand. Like, I came straight from my game here and hopped right on the stream. I'm like, I just feel so gross right now. Like, I just want to take a shower and get fresh. So I ain't even going to cap. We probably got like 18, 20 more minutes up in here. Well, at least I do. He could probably hold it down the rest, because I'm like, I got to get a shower in. Oh, Lord Jesus. And I still got to eat this food downstairs. I haven't been able to go downstairs. Hopefully, don't put all the food up or give all the food away, because I'm hungry. I'm about to tear that thing up down that ear. But yeah, man, I love what's going on right now with the Bills. I had the Bills tonight. I just knew that Kansas City defense was trash. Mahomes ended up throwing a good pick on the left side. Took it to the crib. Beautiful. Beautiful. O'Neal. I don't know what Neil was. Hyde. Yeah, shout out to Hyde for getting that done right there. Chiefs setting up shop though. Tariq Hill's been very normal though. Yeah, I gotta get a shower, man. I just feel grimy over here sitting down. And I just want to, you feel me, get all washed up. You know what I mean? Get that good food in the belly. You're. Hey, man, when you make some money, man, you're going to feel good inside. You know what I'm saying? You got to make some money. Got to make some money. The Chiefs need to go look at some defensive players, because their whole defense is garbage. Like really cheeks. Like big cheeks. I might be going to Cali in March. I have family over there. What part? Southern or northern? You know, Cali a big ass state. I think they said something. It's like 12 hours from the top to the bottom. Something crazy like that. I drove from where we at all the way to Washington. That was a deep drive. Very deep. Very deep. Very, very long. Yeah, man. If you're in Southern California, man, we for sure can link up, because that's where I be at. I be in SoCal. You feel me?
My bad about that, yo.
My birthday in March too, so you feel me? If you come around my birthday, man, we probably could get lit.
Hold on, let me get my sound right so I can hear y'all motherfuckers. There we go. We up in here, man. Salute to the people, man. Sniper said he might be going to Cali in March. He got family over there. See, that's where I'm shooting to go to Cali, but my family trying to get me to go to Cali in the next month. And I'm like, man, I ain't even like no disrespect to them. It's just I'm trying to get some shit taken care of first.
Things are gonna get easier.
That's what we hoping for. But we out here, man.
Oh man, Michael, you gonna lose that money. You really don't know what type of beast Crawford is, my boy.
Before I even said anything, my man Hernandez already getting into the motherfucking business. Let's get into it, man. I know we got it a long time, well, I won't say a long way away, but you know what I'm saying? It's still a little while away. It's about a month, to go. We got Canelo Killer Plant before that, but they had to show they had a press conference today, I believe, and like some face-offs. So I kind of just wanted to get into that just a little bit. I just want to talk about it and see, you know what I'm saying? Southern California, baby. You know what I'm saying? Me and Zen, we from Southern California all day, baby. But I want to get into that. By the way, if y'all up in here and y'all ain't hit the like button, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, show some love to Black Goose TV all day, be part of the family. But I wanted to get into that before we get up out of here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're going to, obviously, as the fight gets closer, that's going to be the topic of conversation. But, man, let's talk about it. T-Bud versus Showtime, Shawn Porter. How you feeling about it, young Zen? And, like, just what you thinking? Who you leading to right now? You know what I'm saying? Michael Nanders himself, he said
Ask me
Porter
that question, bro.
is the
You know the
guy.
damn. You know who is my favorite boxer, man. You know
Talk
that's my
about it though. Is it gonna be a close fight? What you thinking, man? Is it? Are we overhyping this? Is really gonna be as good as they say?
It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy work, bro. At the end of the day, man, Crawford is at the age Wilder kind of is at that 34, 35 age. Crawford knows what time it is. He has no time to play. He has no time to be bullshitting. You see how he got Kell Brook up out of there? You don't think he could have went and let it go at least 10? Man, he got up in there and got that man up out of there like he was some loose groceries. You know what I'm saying? He got him up out of there quick. Like, man, get up out of here.
So you basically saying, and I say this, the only thing I would slightly disagree with you there is, similar age with Wilder, but I think it's a little bit different when you're at that smaller weight class. I know they say you can be a little bit older in the heavyweight division, but I think if you took less damage at a smaller division, I think it's lethal. You know what I'm saying? Because experience and the knowledge and the things that you can gain and to know how you can play without taking a lot of damage and being in a lot of wars. Like Crawford ain't been in a lot of wars. You know what I'm saying? Showtime Shawn Porter, he been in a lot of wars.
What wars mean to me is a lot of paranoia, man.
Absolutely. And wondering whether or not, okay, am I going to be, exactly.
You know why Terence Crawford
hesitant.
hasn't been in a lot of wars, bro? And the war he was with Benavidez, and even that war he had under control. It's because his angles, bro. When you can switch stances and have the same power in either hand, that's rare, bro. Anybody can say, oh, you're supposed to have the same power in the left hand. No. You're going to have more power in the right or the left, depending on what your handiness is. The fact that he can switch either one and feel like his power is still unbenign, I'm like, that's something that Shawn Porter's never fought against. You know what I mean? I think Keith Thurman's one of the slickest fighters out there, but he lost to him. And then he lost to Earl. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if it wasn't for AB being AB, he could have lost to AB. AB knocked that man down.
Yeah, Shawn Porter, AB definitely would have been able to beat Shawn. And there we go. That was what I was talking about. First conference is for November 20. I think it's the 20th, something like that.
Yeah, it's November 20th. That's the fight. But that's easy, man. Like, no disrespect, man. But it's easy. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect Shawn, saying he's not a good opponent or nothing like that. I'm just like, he knows what time it is. I'm like, he's about to get another big bag off this fight. Best believe it. Everybody's going to be tuned in because everybody was tuned in when he fought Earl. They said Earl and Spence was the fight of the year. So what if he knocks out Showtime? What are they going to say about Earl now? Because I'm like, you can't say too much now. You're going to have to say Crawford better. Because I'm like, he's knocking out dudes that Earl should have been getting out of there. If he has all this power.
I'm here with It's Snipers. Y'all know I don't like to put my predictions out there early. I like to do it during the card, but I do think this might be the first time we ever seen Shawn Porter get stopped. Michael Hernandez, I'm not confidently leaning on that. I'm not even saying it. I'm not making it confirmed, but I will during Fluence Lounge when that's happening. But that's how I'm feeling. Go ahead, brother. Excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You good?
But go ahead.
My
Are you
fault.
basically the things that you're saying and the things that you're putting out there? Are you saying that Terence Crawford is just going to have a better performance overall against Shawn Porter than any of these top elite welterweights that we've seen fight Shawn Porter? Danny Garcia, like you said, AB, like you said, Earl Spence Jr., like you
Even
said,
Ugas.
Kell Brook, like
Even
you said.
Ugas.
Ugas, people, obviously Kell Brook beat Shawn Porter. Obviously, Ugas, people think he arguably beat Shawn Porter. Are you saying that Terence Crawford is going to have a better showing than all of these guys that you're talking about? Not only is that going to be astounding and something crazy to see, but Terence Crawford is supposedly not even a natural heavyweight, welterweight. Is that what you're saying?
At the end of the day, Bud is the best pound for pound fighter. You even had the great Andre Ward confirm that he thinks right now that nobody is better than Bud Crawford. And I feel like those eyes right there have seen a lot of boxing. And those eyes right there has seen a lot of guys. And for him to say that without a hesitant of a doubt,
So you giving Shawn Porter no chance, huh?
I mean, of course you have to give Shawn Porter somewhat a chance, but I'm like, what is he going to do that Terence Crawford is going to be worried about? Him switching stances, him flopping and flooping around. I'm like, that's only leaving him up to uppercuts and counter hooks.
So Porter Spence was close. I thought Shawn Porter won. He's an aggressive fighter. Michael Hernandez, you're not the only person. I thought Porter, it could have been, I understand them giving
The
it
knockdown
to Earl because of
the knockdown.
If the knockdown didn't happen,
it's different.
It probably would have been a draw, or we can really argue Porter won. They still would have given it to Spence. But with the knockdown, I do give it to Spence, but it was definitely close where Porter gave him everything good. It's not to say, Michael, man, you on that Zav. So I want what you want, hit me up. Dude, it's not come heavy. Don't take it away, Michael. Just because Porter has losses, you think it's easy. You have no idea. I'm definitely not saying it's not easy about because easy. Of the losses. Because
you can't say anybody that's trying to end your life is going to be easy. I'm saying that when you come into a fighter that can start orthodox for at least 2 to 3 rounds and then decide in the 4th, I'm going to go to southpaw. How do you train that? You can't say I'm gonna just fight some orthodoxes and some southpaws. It's not gonna be the same.
I get it. It's not because
that orthodox and that style, like that power is different. So I'm like, you could think, okay, I'm gonna just protect myself from the orthodox stance, and then when he goes southpaw and that left popping the same as that right, what are you doing now? Because now you have to think about too much. Now it's a thinking game.
And a lot of people don't know this, and I'm gonna say this, and I mean this with dignity. If you're working out and you have a face mask on, you're probably not working out that hard. I know you were the athlete, Showtime Porter, but let's just be 100. You can't work out that hard with a face mask. So go ahead, continue. What are you saying then? I just want to say that.
Nah, man. I'm just like, I think Michael he has good eyes. He knows what he's seeing because we saw the same thing. But I'm like, you guys keep trying to make Spence. I don't want to say he's overrated.
I've never seen that before. You ever seen that?
No. He's just trying some extra shit, man.
I know. I'm like, that's either impressive or that's just extra, nigga. Go ahead,
bro. Just get that shit on the ground. But anyway,
I guess you like to stabilize yourself more.
I think Bud, you feel me? I just think Bud. I think you're underestimating what he does to people. I'm like, he has knocked out everybody. How come Earl Spence is not knocked out nobody in his last 3-4 fights? He can't even knock out Mikey Garcia. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm not trying to say Mikey Garcia a bum. I'm like, come on, man.
But I've been said that. I remember I was arguing that. I was like, Earl Spence is a beast. And I'm like, okay, he went against a guy, Mikey Garcia, who went up from 135 basically to 147.
47. Like, come on, man. He went up 12 pounds.
Or y'all can say 140 to 147, but Mikey Garcia fought at 135. So y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want. But, and Earl Spence, he put a beating on Mikey. He basically outboxed him. Mikey wasn't able to land a punch, but you would think someone who was able to put a beating on someone who was smaller than him like that he would be able to get him out of there, and he didn't. So
that's what I'm saying.
That was interesting.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like Spence, I think everybody's trying to boost Spence up more than Crawford, as if like Crawford got pillows for hands or something. Like somebody that went into that ring and was like, yeah, it's kind of sweet.
But he's won his last 4 fights, 6 fights by stoppage.
Yes, bro. And he has knocked everybody out in the 147 division. Had a stoppage or knocked
Yeah,
him
he's
out.
fought, yes.
Like, why hasn't Earl done that?
But Earl's supposed to be the dude with all the power. So yeah, I understand. I don't get it either.
That's where I'm coming from. I'm like, at the
But it
end of the
comes
day,
down to
Crawford,
who he's under, man. Everybody be coming at him just because he's with Bob Arum. I don't get that.
his camping is great. That's all I got to say. Look at that southpaw stance, bro. My
I know,
God.
and then he starts off in orthodox, so it doesn't even matter. Like,
Look
it's
at
like
the
y'all
movement, though. Hey, I
judging
ain't gonna
that.
lie, man. I swear, man. You be
The
moving fluid like
fluidness.
that. You be fluid like that. Hey, I know my boy Fluence be on here modest and y'all, and he be trying to talk to you. Like, oh, I'll be a little rusty and I'll be no. He be crisp as a motherfucker. He just very, very critical about his form. That's all I want to let y'all know now. Anybody want to run up on that motherfucker and catch some smooth ass hands? Cause I'll never forget. I'm gonna tell y'all a story right now. This nigga caught me with a check left hook. I thought I was doing something. I hit this nigga with a 1-2. Bang, bang. This nigga smiled and said, I see you. And I came in, I thought I was gonna get him again. Bam! My ass hit the ground quick. I got right back up.
I forgot about that bullshit.
Yeah.
That was way.
That nigga caught my ass. He was like, "You good?" I said, "Come on, nigga."
That's why I give you respect, though, nigga. Because I'm like, niggas can say whatever you want, nigga, but you, nigga, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? You got hit with some shit. You give fuck. You came right back. Finished the whole
right
time.
Back.
Next 2 rounds, nigga.
We went 2 more rounds. I had to because I was like, I thought I was really doing something, and then that's when Flu let me know, like, all right, bro, like, I respect you, but bam, like he just, and I don't even think he meant to have no malicious. It just
no.
reflex.
If I was where I was at, like now, or even 2 years ago, I would never would have done that. But I wasn't.
I'm glad you did it because I'm like, now I can know what it feel like to really get blindsided with some heat.
But I wasn't in control of my shit then because that's also when that was before, because that was similar to when I was with Sensei, and I remember I was sparring with one of the heavyweights. And I remember he came in and like I was still doing light, but I just hit him with a right on accident. This nigga spun all the way around. I said, "Oh, my bad, bro." But it was because I set something up and I didn't even realize it at the time because I've always been kind of technical, but I never was able to see it. I was like, "Oh, I set him up to walk basically right into it." I didn't throw it heavy, I didn't throw it hard, but like then it was like, it's like niggas can talk about power all you want, but when you make somebody walk into something that they don't expect, that hurts way more because power is like lights out. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't get them with the lights out,
you gotta be
power
precise.
isn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Fight. It's like if you hitting a hard ass rock, right? Or you're trying to break a diamond and you're trying to hit that shit at a certain spot and it's not cracking. But if you just do a little angling and go like that, it goes through like, you know what I'm saying? Or just break off like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like all about the precision on where you're hitting versus how you're hitting.
I love how in the comments, Michael and his snipers is going back and forth. They having a whole different
on me. I love it. Though. I love it.
No, I love it, man. Much respect. Yeah, keep the comment, keep hitting it. Snipers, Michael, and that, you know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all. We appreciate you. It's snipers. Listen, he said, "Damn, Flu, I want to get it in that sparring." I don't know if I'm the same now in sparring because I'm a lot more because real quick, you more boxing based is snipers. Like I'm more like I do everything. So it's like
I'm trying to tell y'all, man, he did me. Y'all see his Wonder Boy kick. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's crazy.
So I'm like, we can do that, or like we can boxing. I'll box.
If it's box,
probably won't be as good as boxing with you, but
he's lying.
But I've sparred with really good boxers.
And don't let him lie. Don't let him lie. One thing I learned, and this guy is a repetition guy. He does the repetition. No matter if he don't even need his sensei anymore. He probably don't even talk to his sensei like that no more. He's going to do everything that was taught. And then if I end up, whenever whoever helps Mitch with him, wherever he's going to implement that. Like, okay, make sure to do that. So don't believe him. It's snipers. That motherfucker is sharp still. All he has to do is
now. I don't know if I'm sharp. I'm like, I'm dealing with this goddamn injury first.
That's the only thing. But I'm saying right now. I'm telling you, it's fluid right now. If I told you to get to do some drills, I'm pretty sure.
But now that I'm coming back, I'm telling you, this is like motivation for me. Like I'm finna get back. I'm like when I'm able to come back, I'm finna come back strong, bro. Like I'm taking none of this shit.
You don't gotta tell me, bro. I'm already knowing, bro. How he's moving. I'm telling y'all, man. And Flu is 6'4". I don't know what he weighing these days, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm probably about like 220 right now.
And he's moving like this guy. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Just the fluidity, how he's moving, the footwork, the movement. He'll do this shadow boxing for 24 rounds, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I seen it with my
that's that Barry Robinson routine. And that's what I'm gonna do when I'm coming back. I'm finna buy Barry Robinson shit. and that's how I'm gonna get back in shape. You
So
feel
shout
me?
out to Flu, man. Shout out to all y'all that love this, man. Flu.
But I
Shout
gotta
out
wait
to
till the end of October, and also salute to whoever was in the last stream yesterday. I am gonna bring in where I'm breaking down fighting and stuff, but I know I'm a lot more motivated, a lot more insightful in this shit when I'm actually doing it myself. So that's the biggest thing. I'm just frustrated that I'm sidelined right now. Like I
Michael,
hate
what do you mean by that? We see what Crawford's all about. What does that mean? I want to know.
But he's saying we'll see. I think what he means. We'll see. He just didn't put the L. Flu talking bad on stuff. He gonna catch me with something. Nah, I don't know, man. It's been a while. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I'm over here
don't let
just,
him fool
and
you,
it's not a
bro.
big boy, 6'4", 217.
I'm gonna let y'all know. You know how I know he's all cap? Because I've been hooping for a long time, and I could take 2 weeks off, 3 1. I could take a month off, and I can come back to the gym and still cook it. So don't let this man think because his leg is hurt right now and he ain't been able to do his 10-pound weight running. And don't think that.
No, I just don't like. I've still been able. Like I'm still working out, but I hate that I ain't
Oh
been able
my
like cardio.
goodness! Oh
No
my
cardio. That
gosh!
shit
Look at
hurt
that!
me.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
And
Oh
Southpaw,
my!
baby, he don't even start that way.
Oh my gosh! Why did he
But
do
it's not.
this?
It's snipers. You already know. It's snipers won all the smoke. He went to smoke with Zien in the basketball. He went to smoke in
He
the
want all
see.
this smoke.
But snipers. He's specific. He wants boxing. He's like, I'm like, if you want, let's roll. I'll be down to roll. I'm like, if you give me the best of me in boxing, then we gotta switch it up. We're gonna have to do Muay Thai. So we got to have everything.
Stop
Then you
trying
got
to
to do
act
MMA.
like that, bro.
And we just gonna have to just roll.
Hey,
Because
I'm
you
gonna let
might
you
get
know.
me with boxing.
Hey, Hernandez. Snipers. I'm gonna give you
Goddamn, Michael Hernandez big than the motherfucker. This nigga said, I'm 6 feet 287. He's destroying all of
Yeah, God, that nigga's on some big baby Miller. I don't know what he on over there. He got that weight.
Man. Hey, we all gotta chill, bro. Michael,
he coming in with
he
that
giving
weight.
everybody work, nigga. He said, it's not to say. He said, my left hook is devastating. You might catch me with that.
I'm
left
trying
hook,
to tell
I
you,
got good
snipers.
defense.
I'm trying to tell you, snipers. His defense is not only the greatest, but this man right here knows how to fight in both stances. So don't let him fool you.
And this is a while ago, but I know you know what I'm saying, you was undefeated as snipers, but I was sparred when I was really in it. I was sparring with he was 6'3", 240. He was supposed to go pro. He was undefeated too in Kentucky. He went, you know what I'm saying? He went nationals, everything. And because it depends on your reach. You know what I'm saying? He was basically my size, but I played the big man game on him. And I wasn't even that. And I was still me boxing. If we would have done everything, it'd have been a different game. But still, I don't know. Like, it's not recent. Pick what? He don't believe it. He like, you 6 feet 280, bro. That bodybuilding boxer, like, bro, he big baby basically, bro. So I was like, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke with Michael Hernandez. He gonna give us all work. I'm good with that. I'm trying to. But we out here, you know what I'm saying? We gave y'all, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, man.
My food finally. They say 10 more minutes for my food, so I'm not.
Bro,
really
you ordered that a long time ago, bro.
No, I ended up finding out when I looked back at my phone they canceled it because apparently they were closed. Because apparently DoorDash doesn't always, they don't always update their shit. So I had to get something else. But I'm happy with what I got. Because I couldn't get Chipotle, but I got Flying Sausage Emporium. I got a veggie burger and a turkey burger. With some fries, because I haven't ate today.
Well, my daddy was on the grill today, so I haven't been able to eat down there. But he had throw some on the grill, so I'm gonna go ahead and tear into that. Hopefully,
so you got that. You know that's gonna be fire. Look at these motherfuckers over here trying to fight snipers. Like, this is what happens when you got a boxing channel full of motherfuckers trying to get down. Especially, I want all that, Michael. Pause. Like, no match for me. Only sparring though, in case you are. Pause again. Damn it, snipers. Come on, man.
Oh God, I'm not trying to get in there with all that way. You see what Fury did to
Water.
Like,
I know that boy. He gonna be leaning on you. He's just gonna come out. He's gonna lean on you, man. I'm cool on that.
That's a lot.
I know, bro. I'm too lean. I be doing too much cardio. I ain't finna get in there with no motherfucker 270. That's my
80, motherfucker.
I know.
Maybe 290. He basically Shaquille O'Neal on that block, right?
Hey, on everything, what I'm gonna do if I'm really gonna be up in there with him, I'm like the first 3 rounds, I'm just gonna be running the whole time. I'm just trying to tire him out. Like, there ain't no way you gonna have any type of stamina after the second round. I just couldn't believe it.
I just never forget when we watched Dillian fight, Dillian White.
Oh, that one fight, yeah, that was one of the. Oh
like,
my God!
They was just big tired after the second round. We was like, did they train
Oh
for these
my
fights?
god! I know. I was like, there's no way. But I'm like, I'll give it to White because I feel like from there he's gotten progressively better with his
He has, because he was
cardio. But that was
looking
one of the
weak,
worst. I was like, there's no way this nigga trained for this.
bro. It was
This nigga did all strength training.
he just
lifted
kept
weights.
running. Ah!
He was tired. He was like, I was like, it wasn't like Fury and Wilder where you could see Fury was strategically leaning on Wilder. Like, this nigga's taking a break. Like, White, what you doing, bro? You ain't training for this, Jank? On everything.
That's funny. How you feeling, Doc? I know it's late on the side of the game.
Yeah, it's late on this joint. More food. They ain't picked it up yet. I got a message. They said it's supposed to be ready in the next like 10 minutes. So I probably won't get my food till like 11:30.
Damn, that nigga Michael was out here undefeated, boy.
What he said? Damn, 30 fights.
28
I believe it,
KO.
boy. He 287,
At
1999.
6 feet, that boy was not gonna. Hey man, we got some of the best.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, when it comes to the Black Goose TV community, like, y'all don't want to fuck with us. Like, you see these other
We got hands,
have a
man. They ain't got no
like,
hands,
niggas
man.
in here, man. Hopefully, Michael Caffin. I ain't trying to get leaned on. You gonna like Wilder? It's
I
not.
know,
I already know
he
it's
did
not.
not
You
say.
in my weight range. I'm like, you in my weight range. We both the same height. Like, I don't want no work. I don't want no work from nobody that's 6 feet 287. Like, I already know what that is. I'm good on that. Now, unless I'm a professional boxer and like I need to get better at that shit, I'm cool on that. As being just a regular nigga, I'm finna go to work in the morning. I don't want that work. At least I don't want it at like, I don't want it aggressive. Like, we can have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Throw some things, but I ain't trying to go crazy, man. That's like I said, you probably like that's my knee in half. Like, nigga, I don't get paid for this.
That's funny.
Oh God, bro.
But how you feeling, though? You good? What's you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. I don't really got nothing left in the tank to talk about. So unless you got some shit you want to hit on to talk
Unless you
about,
want to talk about BMF.
Damn. So that's what we finna end with. Real quick though, the only thing I'm frustrated with about, which actually I'll be willing to go a whole nother like hour and a half. It's just my air conditioner is broke, and that shit's making me so mad. Like, at times I don't think about it, but at times I'm like, why do I feel irritated at times? I'm like, because it's warm up in this joint, and I know part of it is warm is because I'm in this room. But if I go in the living room, it's gonna be cooler because you know how the living room is over here. But anyways. It's 9%. Plus, we some old muds, Michael, some young gun, probably. No. Well, I don't know. He said he had if he has 38 fights, and he got in a car crash in 1999,
38
and that
fights.
derailed it. Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, 30 fights. My bad. I'm like, he probably around the same age as all of us. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little younger than us. He got to be around, like, unless that nigga just a beast. He on some Mike Tyson shit. But like, I would assume he probably around our age. Our YouTube tend to attract, a certain age. They be around kind of the same joint. But yeah, we're not gonna be on here much longer. But what we gonna end with before we come? I don't know if y'all watch BMF, or we gonna hit. I forgot to put that in a BMF review for episode. What is it? 3? Oh, I figured. See, young Michael, he's on the 39 side of the game. So, see, you a little bit older than us, Michael. So you probably can wear and tear. See, that's the thing. But see, I'd be scared. Look. See, it's not for on the same shit. I was about to retract everything because I'm like, see, I'm a little scared because that means I'm like, boxing is different. Like, if you went basketball or something, it's like, oh, you a little bit older, I'm gonna get you. But in boxing, they know them tricks. So yeah, I'm cool on that. You finna knock me out. I don't want that work. Because remember that Cuban guy I was training with for a minute? I didn't want that work, bro. So you got that one. Well, he's telling you he 30 fights, 28 KOs, no losses. He telling you what it is. I don't want none of that work at all. So real quick, we're gonna end with the BMF review, then we're gonna get up out of here, man. We appreciate you, Michael Hernandez. We appreciate you, Hit Sniper. We appreciate everybody who hopped up in here, man. Hit the like button if you ain't hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Zen, how do you feel? That's the 3rd episode, right? How do you feel about the 3rd episode?
It was better than the other 2. It's getting to some good climax.
The best episode you would say probably, it was better than the first 2, definitely.
I
Yeah,
just think I
agree.
was telling you about Terry. I told you he's gonna start getting into more of like a important role because I'm like, why he's so sidelined and he's supposed to be a main character.
Absolutely. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying right there. But let me ask this though. Let me ask this. What I thought in the third episode, I felt like the directing, how they shot it, the picture, the cinematography was much better than the first two. And who got to shine was much better than the first two. Because I feel like the first two, it was hyped off of, obviously Meech actually being the son of Meech, right?
Mhm.
So we're gonna showcase him, and then we're also gonna showcase the family, the dude from Lincoln Heights. But I think now that it's fallen on the whole show, showing all the characters, I think it's shining a little bit more. Because remember what I said? I thought the brother, I can't remember his name at the time, the dark
Terry,
skinned brother Terry. No. Who their enemy is.
Lamar.
Lamar, him, the light skinned dude, they're really like he's a much better and seasoned actor, at least, or he's much better at his role than everyone else, almost
Well,
everyone else.
Lamar for sure MVP of the episode, easy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Easy. Like he
So,
stole the show because I was like, man, he really strong arming the whole hood. Like he
but
really had
I love his acting. Like it's making me be like, okay, because I'm like, as of now, in my opinion, I feel like this is the least of all the shows 50 has put his hand in. But I think I'm interested in this is because it's the only one that's based on a true story. So it's like, okay, I gotta watch and see. Obviously, this one's gonna get like you can't expect
I'm
no wild
interested.
shit early because it's a real story. So it has to have building blocks.
I think it was a great episode because I feel like I get to
Salute, Michael Hernandez. We appreciate you, brother.
I think it got to show us that Meech is going to show us why he what how BMF really started. Because I'm like right now I'm like they looking just like some amateurs, right? But then he look at the truck idea. I'm like, okay, Meech, and then Meech is starting to just look at stuff. The whole episode he just kept peeping while everybody else is having a good time. He just looking. Like even when he had to drop off his money to Pat, he looking like the fuck.
Well, I think this is really when he's about to become like grimy, because this nigga probably feels like it's him against the world.
Because I'm like, even when he pull up to old girl house and Lamar came, nigga, what you doing here? Yeah, you better raise up, and then he put out the gas. She's like, what you doing with that gun? I just think like, do you know who you fuck with? You fuck with the most goodest
That was the
niggas.
first
Like,
thing. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm like, you acting over here. You acting like you don't know who I am, but you knew who the fuck you was, so you fake. Like bet, and that's why he was like, okay, I'm figuring who everyone that like nigga, I can't trust nobody. Bet that's probably when you gonna get real nasty with it. So,
but that's what's going. Because I'm like, even Pat, because he's just looking like, hold on, this nigga's doing crack. I don't know if he was.
Yeah, I know that was wild.
He was doing the crack, fool. He was doing it. Because I'm like, because he didn't even
TV show.
BMF, yeah, Black Mafia Family, but
that nigga was about to do the Rick Ross definition.
I know. I think that was a good. I think that was a good show for Meech because I'm like, I even like this boy because even that girl, she's trying to start. What's going on with y'all two? And I knew she low key was a snitch because of how she was low key moving. I'm like, she moved awkward,
She's just wants, you gotta know anybody want help like that. They, you know what I'm saying. They gonna get it how they can get it.
But I like this boy's response. He's like, man, me, Meech's problem is me, Meech's problem. We gonna bump heads, we gonna go, but that's my nigga. Like, I'm like, all right, then. So that kind of showed me where his head was. I'm like, okay, he might not be agreeing what's kind of going on and how Meech is moving, but he like, that's still my guy, so we gonna move. I thought
most likely. I just thought, man, like looking at the episode, in the beginning of it, I thought the cinematography was much better in this episode. I thought, the acting was a lot better in this episode, but there were still times in the episode where I was like, man, Jesus. So I'm really hoping that they can fix that. I really think part of it just happens to do with that it is based on a true story, so you have to follow a certain type of arc before really getting it, too crazy. So that's why I think we're not going to have too much crazy shit happen in the beginning compared to the other stories. It will be probably later. But I'm still excited. I feel like enough happened or the shit was good enough to keep me still intrigued. But there's still moments in the episode where I'm still like, well, I don't know, man. I'm like, this can either go one way or it can go the other. You feel me? Like I still feel like I'm like this can possibly go left. Where we're like, all right, let's. I don't want this one. All right, at least for me, I'm not gonna watch that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So,
I thought it was a good build-up episode, in my opinion.
but like, yeah, I'm not taking away. I don't want to sound too negative. Like, I still think it was the best episode of the 3 episodes. Like, I think as the episodes are going on, they're getting better when it comes to how it's shot, who they're focusing on more when it comes to the scenes, people getting more comfortable in their roles. Like, I do think it is becoming better in that sense. It's just there's still certain things that are happening throughout it where I'm still like, all right. Because you guys are and I think this is the reason why. Because you're basing it on a true story, there's certain things that happen in the actual show where I'm like, that was a real careless when it comes to how it was written and how it was set up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is based on a true story, I guess I really expected this to be a little bit more to the T, where it still seems like I'm like,
well, you gotta also think
that's
though, because
careless.
Black Mafia, they're starting damn near in the 80s, bro, early 90s. Black Mafia family went all the way to the 2000s, bro. You know what I mean? Like they survived a long time. They had artists, Jeezy. You know what I mean? Like they actually was like moving. Like they haven't even expanded to Cali and New York and all those other places yet. You get what I'm saying? Like they're still just in the D, trying to figure it out. So I'm like, that's why I'm like the show can still be great, because I'm like they're just trying to pace the story, because they're like, we don't want to just give you this, we don't want to accelerate the story, because I think it's money still too. So I'm like, I know 50 thinking like, I'm trying to get like on some power shit with this type of shit, like, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. So
Yeah,
in order to
absolutely.
do that, and they're all hour episodes. So I'm like, I just think that they're slowly breaking it down, because you see the pops and the moms, they're slowly breaking it, you know. So where it's like,
Damn, that's the one thing too that I'm like, I love that relationship. What's going on there and what we're seeing, I didn't expect that. And the other and like that's something that's shining that I didn't expect to come out of nowhere. Like, okay, they are allowing the Lincoln Heights to. Remember when I said where I felt like his energy was a little bit too much for the show, even though he was a great actor. I'm like, he's a little bit too much. It's like he's a little bit trying to prove that he's that much of a. I like that they're placing his energy and they're putting it in something where it's like, oh, now let's see what he can do with that energy. And I like it. So I'm like, that was a smart move. Yeah, Da Vinci is playing T, correct?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, he's doing a good job. I think he's doing a good job. That's one of Zen's favorite, more characters that he's liking, and I think he's doing a good job. He's not one of my favorites, but as of now, I think he's doing a really good job.
Well, I mean, if you want to make the most dynamic is Lamar. I'm like, at the end of the day, Lamar.
That's mine. Lamar's killing
like
it, man.
he really came out the pen and really beat a nigga up and said, next tomorrow, make sure everything.
But he's really like, you can see he's a nigga you can't trust though, bro. He's such a snake, because like he can go from woo woo and a chick to being a cool nigga, like where I'm talking to you, yeah, everything's cool. Then to being like,
I'm gonna go beat up a dude up and throw him in the dumpster. Yeah.
But not only am I gonna beat this nigga up, but I'm gonna tell the niggas he roll with, like, I ain't do that shit.
And then on top of that, then go to say, what's
That's
up?
a nigga who steal from you and look for the shit that he stole.
Facts.
Like, oh nigga, what? You can't find your wallet, nigga? Let me help you. That nigga, your wallet sitting in that nigga back pocket. So I'm like, but
that's why I like Lamar though. But see, I like his boy even more, because I feel like his boy know that.
He do.
But he just like,
don't give a fuck.
He don't, because he know how he need to move. Because think about it, if he can get into that gang and still get high rank, I'm like, he know how to move.
But it helped because his boy been in that shit. So he like, nigga, like, I'm older than most of young niggas. Like this nigga, like, and then I'm like, them some young niggas, so they don't know what else to do. They like, all right, bet.
Damn, he is all American. He's the quarterback at Crenshaw. That's where I knew him from. I was like, who is he? Why do I know him?
I don't know that nigga.
Yeah, he was on All American. I ain't gonna lie, his acting on there way worse than it is on here, bro. He's way
for real,
bro. On there, bro, I couldn't stand him how he was acting, bro. Like he was just trying to act. I don't know. I wasn't messing with it, man. I mean, he might like that. It's just the show on the character. I'm just like, bro, no nigga from the hood talking like this, bro. Like, get out of here. Who y'all trying to fool, man? Going to Crenshaw talking like that, bro. Like, come on, man.
I don't know. I ain't seen it.
I mean, I guess he was cool.
It's never said he was good.
I didn't like how he came.
I ain't seen it, so I don't know.
I didn't like how he came in. Like, you feel me? He just was the most he had less roles and less lines. You know, he had less scenes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he had less chance to not, you know, mess up in a sense. You feel me? So he had his cool lines. He came in as the cool dude, not trying to mess nothing up. So of course you're gonna say he, you know, he's a cool dude. You feel me? But I just didn't. I just
So
thought
he
his
seemed
character
like
was
the
good.
nigga who kept his shit together, but because the whole overall of everything wasn't that great,
Yeah, it's just like,
it
bro,
almost is like, man, what you doing? Like you supposed to be whack like everybody else or something. I don't know.
that boy Darnell. I think that's his name, the quarterback. But yeah, man. His like it's basically he's a quarterback and he's way more talented than Spencer and all this other stuff. And his dad it's big, bro. I stopped watching just because it was getting too corny for me, man.
Well, that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen in BMF because I'm like
It
the way
can't
I'm
though. It
seeing
can't get
BMF.
corny though, because I'm just like,
I feel like it can. It can't. I know you're saying it can't because of the story, but I'm saying it can because of the actors.
But that's what I'm saying. The acting is gonna have to get better, Flu. That's why I'm not even because I'm like, we was skeptical at first when we was watching Raising Kanan. We like it's realistic, but we was like, and nothing much really
But
happened.
that's what made me keep watching it was because even though Raising Cain, the acting was skeptical, I was like, the story and how real it is, it's hard for me not to be interested because I'm like, that really happens. When you
But I
have
feel like this
skeptical
is
acting,
But I feel
I
like
don't
this
know.
is real though, because I'm like,
I
we
don't
re
know,
looking at
man. The
it.
way I guess maybe it's because it's been there, done that. Like when they were standing in the corner at the construction site and the food truck, all that shit just seems so fast paced and like I've seen it before, but also it seems so like corny and you know, I don't know, maybe it's the outfits. Some just like throwing me off.
Bro, Kanan was getting on my nerve the whole
Yeah,
show,
check it out, his snipers. Check it out.
bro.
But I think Kanan was
He would have got
supposed
better.
to.
But I'm saying he got
But
better every
Kanan was
episode, bro.
supposed to because he was the kid. Like he was the one nigga that everyone else around Kanan didn't have that effect.
These
So it's
dudes
like
is kids, bro. You act like these dudes is 25 or 28. These dudes, Terry's in high school,
that
bro.
might be my problem then. Maybe okay, they I
Yeah,
don't know. That
these
shit
is young,
just
all young dudes, bro. Think about it. He got in the car with them when he was a young boy, and Pat don't look that much older. The dude that put him on, you get me? So I'm like, Terry's like a couple years older, so I think he dropped out of school or something like that. And Terry's still in school because remember they keep saying he's a 3.5 student. He has the greatest grades, so I'm like, he's still in high school. Then his teacher came and brought him his work at the bowling
yeah,
alley.
that's true.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, you're trying to judge them like these are grown men. I'm like, these are kids too. And I'm like, they're figuring out how to move weight.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like they're getting in the strip clubs at 17.
Well, I'm gonna keep giving. I guess I keep giving them off. I'm gonna keep like I said. I'm not trying to sound like I don't enjoy it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be looking forward to it every.
fall off. What if that
But no,
season
I'm not
finale
thinking it's gonna fall off. I'm just saying there's a lot more opportunity for this to fail because it's based on a true story, and the actors that we're working with is people who can't really deliver the most strongest. They got to get into their role, which I think is might be a recipe for disaster, or we might have an instant classic because once they get into their role, we're like, we never seen these do, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But this is what I will say.
If y'all in the chat, man, if y'all rocked with us, man, I already know our Black Goose fam is here, but man, like it, subscribe it,
Absolutely.
push the bell. We're giving you the
Get
good
that
content.
notification bell. We appreciate y'all for real,
Y'all
for
gonna-
real.
Y'all gonna get some good music this week. Y'all gonna get some good some good random podcasts possibly. Y'all
Yeah,
gonna
we
get
gonna
the
do that.
Fluence Lounge Friday.
We doing Fluence Lounge
Saturday.
Saturday, but I'm not sure what fights are happening this Saturday, so I can't speak on it. So I don't know if it's gonna be a great one, but I don't. But there's something happening.
Oh, I think it's that fight that you didn't want to watch. It's this weekend because remember you thought it was the weekend before.
No,
and
that
it
was
wasn't.
this week. The one I was talking about that happened during the Wilder and Fury fight. That
Oh,
was the
okay,
terrible
cool.
card.
Okay.
So it's a different card. I think it's an okay fight happening next weekend. I'm just not sure off the top of my head. So I don't
Boxing
think it's
or
a bad one.
UFC?
UFC. I'm not sure anything boxing is happening next weekend, but I think UFC has a isn't it a pay-per-view next weekend for UFC?
Nah, it's Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont.
You lying? That's not it. Is it for real? That's next weekend. Oh God,
Jim Miller, Audrey.
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that, bro. And there's no boxing, right?
I don't know nobody fighting on 16th. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I did know the guy who's playing Meech's actual son. That's what got me wanted me to watch it the most. Joshua Pate, by the way, salute to you, bro. I ain't seen you in a minute, man.
I
Salute to you,
know. I
bro.
haven't seen. Hey, I know.
I seen that.
Shout out to you, dog.
Yeah, man. I mean, you getting up in here at the end, man. We finna end this joint.
I
But
know.
salute to you, man. Because my
Check
food
out
finna
Furry.
be here. So I gotta go outside to get that shit.
All right, dog.
But shit, man. Much love to you, Young Zen. We probably gonna get another podcast sometime this week.
Yeah.
Before Fluence Lounge and whatever happened this Saturday. Hopefully there's a fight that we can watch this Saturday. Because I want to get it popping with shot. So
I can wait the NBA starts because then we're gonna have.
When the NBA starts, we're gonna be going live for that joint like crazy. It's gonna be dope as fuck. So
because I'm excited for the season, man. There's a lot of good teams, man. I feel like the teams are balanced. I don't feel like we could say the Lakers are gonna win, we could say the Nets are gonna win, but we also can see other teams that can beat those teams, man.
There's gonna be a lot of fire matchups we're gonna be able to go live for. I can't wait for that.
But the Bulls and Cavs, I'm tapped into because I'm like Cavs could be an AC, man.
Yeah, I'm coming for your head, but I'm not gonna overdo this because I'm not trying to rush. But I gotta make sure I get my food.
All right, well, shout out to their family. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, tell a friend. Yeah, we're gonna watch the Laker games, man. But tell a friend. Oh, you're watching this Laker game. Oh yeah, I ain't watching
preseason one. Yeah, once regular season comes, Joshua, I know you're gonna pop in once the regular season comes because you're more of a basketball fan. So we're gonna be there. You already know what Black Goose TV is about. Like Zen was saying, hit the subscribe button. We out of here. Love y'all. Enjoy y'all week. Monday is the hardest day of the week, but just make sure you do what you do. Fuck what everybody says, and just what I'm saying, be on top and hit that peak. We out of here. You heard me? Hit the like and subscribe button. You probably Black Goose TV.